What's up, Barry? Haley Beth, how you doing, love? Can you hear me? How you doing, Haley Beth? What do you think? I got my 70s, I got my 70s business on. Oh my goodness. How you doing, Haley Beth? Good to see you. Good to see you. A little different time today. We got Matty Pace on, so we're doing a daytime show. Back to our original hours, original retro hours, 3:30 Eastern time on Tuesday. So I figured since Matty Pace was retro, we went ahead and got some retro gear on. Chad will be here soon. We got a lot to talk about. A bunch of shout outs. My friend right there in the chat, Haley Beth, has a show on Friday nights at 6 Eastern time. And come check her out. Every week she's got a new co-host. And that co-host, you never know who it might be. This guy right here is going to be the co-host one day on her show. One of these days.
What is up?
In fact, that's going to be on the 30th, Friday the 30th at 6 p.m. You're going to be able to find my man Chad Rev Art here. Hey man, what's going on?
I thought we were supposed to dress like the 1870s.
Aha! You were close. You were close, homie.
Well, you said the 1870s.
I said
What
the
the
70s.
Oh man!
That'll work though, man. Hey,
I'm behind
you got
100 years.
Well, it took you that long to get here from your planet, didn't it?
At least.
Well, we got it covered then. You got the
What's up,
1870s. I got the 1970s. Natasha OG in the house.
OG. What's up, Haley Beth?
Lita, good to see you. Hey, Chad.
What's up, Lita? Yo.
Lita is a recommendation from Matty Pace. I went and checked out her work, man. I think you will really like it. As a dark artist, I think Lita is someone you would dig. And you may even consider Lita might be an amazing. I got her on my list for the Gin Project show, but as you know, it's going to be some months. She might be someone you might consider for the window. I'm just saying.
Awesome.
Lita, right
I
there.
already follow
right there
Lita, actually. I already follow her. Lita, if you want it on that window, you send me a DM. We'll make it happen. That simple. That simple. You want to see something cool,
that's
man?
That's the dude right there. Yeah, man.
Oh, I lost them. There they are. This
Lita,
is what
we
I
got
did to my
best
art glasses.
70s. You got art glasses?
No, well, yeah, the art glasses that I always switch into.
Nice. Oh,
Isn't that cool?
what happened?
I stood this up, and these were in the wrong place.
Oh man,
Yeah, they're cooked. Look at that. Yeah, cooked.
those aren't going to help much. They're hard to see through.
Yeah, I've got some other ones on right now, and it really sucks. I'm like,
Well, you got any announcements or anything to say or anything or any blood to draw? What you got?
man.
Heather's hobbies. How you doing?
I don't think I have anything too important to say. You announced that I'm going to be on the Haley Dot Show August 30th, 5 Central, 6 Eastern. That's probably the most important thing we have to say.
See, Money, if you're talking about here as in being a guest on the Gin Project show, here's the list. I'm happy to add you to it, but I do one show a week. It will be months and months. So send me a DM. Tell me you're interested in the show. You got to meet two qualifications. You got to be serious about what you do, and you got to be helping other people along the way. If you fit in both those categories, you can be on the show. So I'm gonna start a second column on this sheet, and there's another sheet, by the way. But that's how.
A lot of sheep.
Also, C Money. C Money I met over in Matty Pace's spot too.
Oh,
C Money,
baby.
Chad Rev Art has a show called the Chad Rev Art Show on Thursdays, and it is called The Window. At the end of his show, he gives an artist 13 minutes. They come up, and we have a clock on them, and they have 13 minutes to talk about who they are, what they do, why they do it, and why we should give a shit.
That's right.
So reach out to Chad if you're interested in doing a window. That list is a little shorter right now.
Yep, for the moment. And I'll follow all of you guys back as soon as the GIN project is over with today. So make sure you guys hit that follow button for me and the GIN and for yourself. For everybody else in the chat.
Can do. This is my corduroy 7D Paisley business attire because we got Matty Pace coming on today. There was a little miscommunication, and Chad showed up from the 1870s.
I was ready.
But we're covering all the bases.
That's right.
Right on, C Money. I'm pretty sure I followed you earlier today, if I'm not
if I'm
not mistaken.
Hit us up, man.
Right on. So, in about 23 minutes or so, we're going to bring Matty Pace up, and we're going to have a conversation. Those of y'all that are familiar with this show know that I actually talked to the guest the day before. We have a phone conversation, and in there we kind of outline the things they want to talk about on the show, how all that's going to go. So I had a wonderful conversation yesterday with a man who is on a mission. He's a good dude. I really like Matty Pace. He is trying hard to do the right thing. He's been through some things in his life as well. And I'm really looking forward to talking to Matty today. He's the most positive vibe out there. I mean, he is an entire vibe, his whole self. Eric the Airbrush Artist just joined the chat. Please give him a follow. Can Do Artist, another amazing artist that's in here. Eric the Airbrush Artist is one of the people that I'm doing the guitar collaborations with. Chad Rev Art's going to carve one. Bob Not So Ross has got one coming. SA Artistries has one coming. Hanson Arts has one coming. Jason Hanson LLC actually has one coming. And there's a couple other people out there that got one coming too. So we're looking forward to that. I hope you'll follow my buddy Eric the Airbrush Artist. He does some amazing work. Please forgive the content, but that's his work right there, actually. Good to see Heather's Hobbies in the house. I got some wood drying out back for her. She's also amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of these announcements, and then we're going to get on with the Matty Pace, y'all. So, running down the show, since we're talking about Matty Pace, first on the announcement list, you might find his name. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Matty has a show from 1:30 and that's Eastern time. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, he has a show that comes on at 10 a.m. So he had a show today, which he's going to follow up with an appearance on the GIN project. So we really appreciate him going out there and doing that. Moose, another amazing artist, another guy that's very helpful to this show. We appreciate you, Moose. The next one we have on here is SA Artistries. Occasionally on Fridays, SA does a pick and paint. And on Sundays, she does her Sunday woo-saw, where she's out gardening and doing her thing. SA Artistries is also one of the collaborators on the guitar project. We're sending her a guitar to put her amazing paint on. So Chad and SA, two of the main players in that. What up, Mick? Good to see you in here, man. Mick? Appreciate you. We also have a friend in the chat who's an amazing artist named Haley Beth. And Haley Beth has a show, Haley Dot, the Haley Dot Show, every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's where she has a co-host every week, a new co-host. The 30th, her co-host is going to be Chad Rev Art this month. On the 23rd, this coming week, Courtney is going to be her co-host. So every week, she's got another co-host, an artist off this platform, a creator, content creator of some kind, and they do fun stuff. They literally do like games and art together and that kind of thing. So Haley Beth is a Diamond Dot artist. I hope that you'll give her some support. Haley Beth is one of the people. Her and Tiffany introduced me to Chad formally. I knew him, but Haley Beth has been riding with the Gin Project since the beginning. She was one of the original OG moderators. Danielle is now in the chat. She was a guest on the show a couple weeks ago. Love some Danielle. She's doing some amazing stuff that she's partnering up with Art for Autism, and she's doing a memorial piece for a family who lost their autistic son. So please follow Danielle. She's doing some dope stuff too. So on the Haley Beth show, Courtney is her guest, as her co-host this week, and that's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We got a friend named Ashman out there roaming around doing art. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Ashman has his basic art show. So go get Ashmatized with Ashman. And that's from 7 to 8 Mountain Standard Time. On Thursdays, he has Drawn and Quartered, where he teams up with a couple other people. And it's like a morning DJ show, but at night. They're a bunch of laughs. Those cats are...
Yeah.
They'll crack you up over there. Our dude Eric the Airbrush artist, who you heard me talking about earlier, Eric is also one of the guitar collaborators. He's working on something that I think is going to be a pretty cool concept we're trying to work out. So Eric is going to have a show coming up. It's going to start on the 7th of next month, 7th of September, which is a Saturday. And on Saturdays between 7 and 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Eric and Dirty 530 and Flex are going to be doing a show together. They're all airbrush artists, and they're going to be doing their thing together. So I hope you'll... Hey, Kira, there's another amazing artist. The artist is dead. There's another amazing artist. So please check out Eric the Airbrush Artist and Dirty and Flex. And since they just came in the chat, another person I have on here, Kira Wilson Art. Thank you. I appreciate that. From 6 to 9 Eastern time on Mondays, you can go see Kira Wilson doing her thing. She's been really busy lately. This is her busy season. And turn on your notifications from her. Turn on your notifications for all these people. But Kira Wilson definitely from 6 to 9 on Mondays, and that's Eastern time. You can catch her. You need to turn on your notifications too for The Artist is Dead or Dead Making Art. That's some of her art right behind me there, and there's some more of it right there. Amazing artist, puts out great content. You find her on Roaming Around at Night, or you might catch her on the Max V show in the morning. Max V is back, our buddy Max V. So about 9 o'clock Eastern time, if you'll tune in and look for him, check that guy out. He's doing some good stuff out there. He tries to promote other artists, let people show their art. He's all about trying to be positive. So please go check out Max V and that crowd he's got. Dead Making Art is one of those people, and she's an amazing human being. And please check out her art. We got Wafty Llama. I'm going to be doing some poetry with him. I just got to catch up with him. The last I heard, he was out in the middle of the ocean somewhere doing something. Thank y'all so much for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Everything that we're gifted, we always give back to the art community, either in subscriptions or going in there live and dropping it on them like you just did for me. So thank you. We just got to say Natasha Art, OG, several times during the show because we love some Natasha Art, OG. And she has been with Chad longer than anyone. She is the OG of OGs for the Chad Rev Art situation.
It is true. Artist before I can even go live.
In the chat. Yes. Go ahead, man.
No, that's all I had to say. I was just saying she's been rolling me since before I can even go live. OG Natasha Art. OG. Big love, girl.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dad. We love you, Dad. We love you.
We do.
We think you make amazing art.
We do love you, Dad. She is
we got
an artist
friends
making
Hanson
art about
and Kiki.
her art.
Yes. We got Hanson and Kiki on Tuesday nights. They've been doing Catch 'em Late Night. Thank y'all. They've been doing like a trivia night on Tuesdays, and then they got something else going on Thursdays, and I think they got something in the works for Wednesdays. So if you can, please find Hanson or Southern Gothic is what she goes by. We call her Kiki, but Southern Gothic. So please check them out. On Thursday, their show is called What's the Worst That Can Happen? And on Tuesday, it's like a game night, smash and grab type of deal. So you want to go get a little bit off color, go out there and hang out with those folks. They're fun as hell. Lady Shine, our dear friend Lady Shine, has a Sunday. These are Mountain Standard Times. On Sunday at 5:35 Mountain Standard Time in the evening. She has a show where there's creative prompts, and artists go based off those creative prompts. Poets write based off those creative prompts. On Monday mornings at 4:30 a.m., she's doing Meditation Mondays. So from 4:30 to 6:30, you can go hang out with her, get your meditation on. And Walk With Me Wednesday is from 11 a.m. to 1. And those are Mountain Standard Times. And please go support Lady Shine. She's a lovely human being, and we got a lot of love for her. On Wednesdays at 12:30, and that's Eastern Time, our dear friend Courtney, who is going to be the co-host this week on the Haley Best Show at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Courtney and Jay have a new show that is on Wednesdays at 12:30, and it's about addiction and other things.
Very good.
But they talk about some heavy topics there. I hope you go support them. She is amazing. I got to straighten my tie up because make sure I got it right for Courtney now.
Maddie's in the house. You better straighten that tie.
Yeah, man. We got the Matty business attire on today. So Courtney, please go check Courtney and Jay out. And on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, our pal Punk Rock has started doing a show. So please go check out Punk Rock. And my dear friend Eve's Artistry, she has shows on multiple nights, but she's got Musical Monday at 7 p.m. also on Mondays. Please turn on your notifications for Eve. There's a bit of Eve's Artistry's art right there. She's an amazing human being, and I have an event coming up with her on Saturday the 24th, which is this coming Saturday. I'm going to get my very first ever painting lesson. A lot of my friends on this platform are painters, so I'm going to try it out, just so I maybe better understand what they go through. But at 8 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday, Eve's Artistry is going to be giving me a lesson. She asked me to select my subject matter, so I selected a dragon. And then 3 days later, I sent her a picture of of Elliot from Pete's Dragon. And I think she might have been relieved because, like, how am I going to paint this dude? How am I going to teach this dude that don't know how to paint a dragon? But anyway, check out our good friend Eve's Artistries. If you have shows going on, if you have content you would like people to watch, please DM me with your information. I will write it on this list, and in the first part of each show, we dedicate to telling when other people's shows are going on. We got Matty Pace in the house.
These outfits are for you, Matty.
Matty, there was a little miscommunication. I told my man we needed to dress 70s, so he came straight 1870s. I got the 70s business attire rocking because Matty Pace is a little retro. This is hot as hell, so I'm probably going to switch out of this pretty soon. But we are excited to have Matty Pace in the house.
Absolutely.
Please make sure you turn on your notifications for SA Artistry. You just saw her in the chat.
Yes.
Amazing artist. And she's going to have some more content coming out soon. She got some stuff in the works, like her Woosall show that she's doing, and she's got some other projects. There's Southern Gothic, who I mentioned just a minute ago. She has the show with Hanson on Tuesday nights. They're doing the trivia, and it's like a game night, kind of smash and grab type deal. And then they also on Thursdays are doing What's the Worst That Can Happen, where they just let somebody they don't know up into their live and see what happens. So yeah. And then you see our buddy Eric, the airbrush artist, in there. He's doing his thing too. So the folks that are here from the Gin Project, Matty Pace showed up with his friends. So y'all please show them some love. Make sure to give Matty and the folks he showed up with some follows, y'all. We're trying to build a community here. The whole point of doing this show is to highlight people that are on this platform trying to do good things. The two categories that you got to fit in are you got to be serious about what you do. And if Matty's not serious about what he does, then I don't know who is. And number two, you got to be helping people along with that process. It can't be all about you. You got to be willing to help some other folks along the way. So Matty definitely does that. Pretty much that's what his life's dedicated to. Thank you, SA.
Yep.
Speaking of which, SA Artistries spends a good deal of her time helping out folks that are unhoused. So don't sleep on SA. She be doing big things behind the scenes.
Kira, only about what we do, not in general. Come on, look at us.
I mean, come on. I'm serious. I don't even know how to wear one of these, but I'm serious about my attire here.
Yeah, I'm so serious.
I'm very serious.
I'm so serious. I'm wearing a hat that's over 100 years old out here in my workshop and sweating.
And speaking of hats, this hat was burned for me by the Dizzy Hippie, and there is an image of a beaver with a TGP piece of wood in his mouth.
Can I show my beaver too? Oh.
Please do. Please do.
No, I can't. I can't.
Right
here. Off of here.
Where am I at? Right here is a teacup, and that represents painting at Tiffany's. Right here is an alien. That represents my homeboy right there, Chad. And this right here is SA Artistries. You might even see she actually wrote her name out. She was so important. But,
SA.
Dizzy Hippie did this. I asked her to put paisley on it because I like paisley, obviously. And she does really beautiful flowers. So I asked her to add some flowers to it. And she did that as well. So y'all go check out the Dizzy Hippie if you get the opportunity. She does some amazing work. I really appreciate her doing that for me. And we wear this to special occasions. I wore this over to Knoxville when I went. And believe it or not, people loved it. So thank you to the Dizzy Hippie. All this art you see behind me is from artists off this platform. And this giant box right here is also full of art from artists off this platform that I've yet to have a chance to put up there. So there's quite a bit of it too from some pretty amazing people, some of which are in this chat. So we're trying to build communities here. We're trying to look out for each other, help each other out. And that is exactly the kind of thing that Matty Pace does. So
yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a new wall too, Kira, because I'm running out of room. I'm gonna have to come up with something. We're gonna have a spot upstairs too. Can Do artist Kira Wilson and a few other people are also gonna have some work up in the living room. I believe is how that's gonna work out. My wife saw your stuff and was kind of like, "Hey, I like that." And we have 2 pictures on our wall and 1 mirror in our entire house. So we got a little bit of room. We'll figure it out. What's up, Wills? Thank you for joining. Thank you. Yes. Just a handful is what we started with. That's absolutely right. Chad, we got about 6 minutes before I'm just messing with you, dog.
I'm on it, man.
we got about 6 minutes before we bring up Matty Pace. You have any announcements? Anything you'd like to say? You want to show some of your work right there?
Man,
at least
I don't
show
have a
off
whole
your
lot of
derby.
workout. You want me to show off the derby?
At least show
It's
off
a real
the derby.
deal. Pre-1930s derby.
Might have to get some screenshots with that, y'all.
Yeah, look that bad boy up. And it's a little dirty right now because I pulled it right off the display. Because I thought we were supposed to. Oh, look at this. Oh.
Did said you fancy, man.
I am fancy. There we go.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you very much.
I went back to working on this. That's amazing. You found your fedora, Matty Pace. Yes, that is vintage, Kira. This is like a 100-year-old hat. And I'm wearing it out here, sweating and getting sawdust on it. But it'll be all right. It's good. It's good. You know what's really weird is to have this kind of new technology pressed up underneath a 100-year-old hat. Really cool. So yeah, I went back to working on this, guys. We're gonna finish her up very soon. I've been working on the inside and getting a whole bunch of stuff done. So we're gonna knock this out because I got a 9-foot maple behind it. And I also, yesterday, I brought in about a 2,000-pound stump and root ball of a hawthorn tree. It should be really, really fun. We had to use
That's
the
prickly.
cherry picker and all the stuff. Yeah. It's not prickly, the part that I have. It's just the stump and the roots.
Oh, nice. The top part's prickly.
Yeah, kind of like you and me, buddy. Kind of like me and you.
Baby!
Giving a Doctor Who with the tech. Yes, most definitely. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. My kid went back to school, so all of those flow states that you've been missing, you haven't been missing because I haven't been able to do that many. And guess what? Back in the sawdust saddle. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really sad my kid's back in school because I missed her as soon as I woke up. But I'm gonna get a whole bunch of work done. That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
You know, Thursdays, 6 o'clock Central is the Chad Rev Art Show. You already mentioned that, so.
Mention it again.
Look
When is
at
it?
my light in here. My light is possessed.
Dirty 5:30 in the house, y'all. Dirty 5:30 in the house.
Until back to school blue. I know, Kira. It's like happy and sad because I get to like get some work done finally. But God dang it, I already miss her. And she's only been gone hours. And she's going to be
Chad?
back here in a little bit.
Chad?
What's up? What you
She's
got?
gonna be home soon, buddy. She's gonna
I
be
know
home
it,
soon. Hang in there, bro. Hang in there. She's gonna be home soon, man.
I
It's
get
gonna
it.
be all right.
I get it. I'll make it. What
She
up,
gonna-
Bob?
She tough. She tough little girl. Hey,
Oh,
Haley.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Haley, what's up, Dirty?
Dirty.
I can't wait to be able to work. My 7-year-old starts back now. Heard that, Lita. Heard that. If you don't mind, Haley, please go ahead and send Matty up if he's still in the chat so we can go ahead and get a mic check and make sure everything's going to work. So that if it doesn't, he can drop back down, try again, whatever we need to do. Thank you to Haley Beth. Haley Beth has a show on at 6 o'clock Eastern time on Fridays where she has a rotating cast of amazing artists who are her co-hosts. So I hope you'll check that out. DJ, how's it going? We are just doing a special time right now today. Our friend Matty Pace has a show on. It's earlier today, and it makes a long day for him. So we actually having the show today at the same time we used to have it. Chad and I used to do 2 every Tuesday and Thursday. We did again Project Show at 3:30, and then every Tuesday and Thursday after that we did a Chad Rev Art Show.
We used to back.
We used to do them back to back, which is how we ended up with that piece of art from Natasha.
Yep.
And don't worry, Haley, he'll be in. Here he is. He's back. He's back. So just send him up when you get a chance, Haley. No big deal. Bob Not So Ross, I see just entered the chat. And
Bob.
he's also one of the recipients, one of the first evolutions of the guitars. So almost had Bob's ready. And he's going to paint his with this really cool 70s kind of scheme. Yeah, Matty, we're just going to get, Haley to send you up. We like to do a little sound check, make sure everything works. And then I'll do a little bit of an introduction for you while you're sitting here. That way we get to talk about you while you can hear us and see us. And Matty, you got me?
I got you.
Oh, listen to that voice, y'all. Ooh, baby.
Baby.
Oh, he done came with a fedora.
Baby.
He done came with a
Look at
fedora,
this.
Chad.
Look at this sexy mother. Right, y'all. Right, y'all.
Matty
Yeah,
Pace in the
I got
hickey.
you, Maddie. I got you.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
dude.
So
Let's go.
we can see him, we can hear him, and usually we do a big complicated introduction on folks, but Matty is really good at speaking for himself. Matty been doing this for a while. He don't need any kind of guidance going through an interview, anything like that. He pretty much interviewed me when we talked yesterday. So, so let me just say this. I really enjoyed my conversation yesterday with the man that's about to come up here. He dedicates a significant portion of his life helping other people. His journey, his path has led him to be a guide for folks. That's the way I think I could best describe what, there's some teacher in there, but it don't really fit. There's some other things in there, but Matty's just kind of a guide to the light. If you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day, you can go by Matty's and your day is going to be better. I mentioned all the times we're gonna go over all that again, but I will say this: you're gonna be surprised to know that this bundle of positivity that you're about to come in contact with has overcome dealing with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, and it hadn't always been roses for Matty, even though he makes us see the roses. He's had some of the thorns as well. So he's been at this for a long time, and he knows what he's doing, and I believe in his mission. I think he is more of what I think the world needs more Matty Paces. I know nobody can duplicate him, but what he brings is very much needed. So I'm ever so grateful for Matty coming on the show. I remember it was just a short time ago that Chad and I had a conversation, and Chad said he reached out to Matty to be on the window, and he accepted. And I was really excited when I was able to reach out to Matty, and he accepted to come on the show and have a talk with us. So Matty, thank you so much personally from me, man. I know it takes a lot of trust to do something like this, so I really appreciate you being willing to come on here and speak with us, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It is, you're making me smile bigger than ever. Not because of the kind words, but because of the way that you look right now. It's absolutely stunning. It's remarkable.
We got the 70s business attire, baby.
He said I had to break it out. I was like, okay. And he did. And here we are. And I love it. And I'm excited. Let me button up the midriff a little bit. We want to show chest. We ain't trying to show tummy. You know what I mean? We out here, man. Baby.
Hey, I think they want to cuddle up to the tummy too, man. You'll be just fine. It's beautiful.
Tell them anything's possible. Anything's possible, baby. We out here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for having me on again. I am grateful for this opportunity. I've been looking forward to it.
The man right here broke the ice for us.
He did.
And we're going to get into depth today a little bit. Chad, what you got, man? I know you got something to say to this dude.
Man, y'all, if you haven't already watched Matty Pace do his thing, have you even been on TikTok?
Probably not.
Have you even been on TikTok? And I want to, not right now, obviously, because we're about to open up a big old can of worms here. But later, y'all go check out my profile, because on there you will find Matty Pace's window segment. And we may or may not have taken the batteries out of the clock when Matty Pace came on.
It was out of there.
Out of there.
Softly, I love you.
Hey, killing me softly. Hey,
Matty,
Healy.
I'm looking forward to a little more in-depth look into Mr. Pace.
I'm ready.
Y'all, get your popcorn, get your drinks, put your feet up, get some baby for yourself today, because it's going to help you out.
Send a gift, get a kiss. Mwah.
What's that? Send a rose, get a pose?
Hey, Matty,
Send a rose,
go
get a
ahead and
pose.
shout. Go ahead and shout your folks out, man. Do your poses and your kisses and all that, man. Your people are here, brother. Show out for them.
Me softly. Send a rose. Get a pose. Amanda. Send a gift. Get a kiss. Thank you. Shout out. Dawn 94 with good vibes galore. Thank you. Send a rose.
Dawn.
Get a pose, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the beautiful and generous gifts. absolutely unnecessary. I am here for these guys. I am here for you. And just to share a little bit about the journey. And thank you so much for having me. Healing me softly. Mwah, Dawn, Amanda, Miss High and Vibing, always rising and thriving. Chop, chop, lollipop, looking incredible nonstop. Shout out to Natasha Art, each and every one of you in the building, man. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the generosity. And more importantly, your time. Thank you for being here. And again, thank you for having me on. C Money, I love you. Money, let's go, baby. Shout out to Chad. Shout out to the Gin Project. Dirty, are you kidding me? Usually I have my soundboard. I don't right now, but I would say send that lightning. Ooh, get that thunder, baby. That thunder from down under. The Can Do artist. Mwah, Lita, much love, baby. Lita in the chat is an incredible artist. Check out her work. She is sensational. But thank you again to both of you for having me on. Chad, thank you for breaking the ice. And Gin, thank you so much for reaching out to have me on for this beautiful and amazing moment. And I really hope that what we get into today really helps somebody grow in their personal and maybe even professional life. So thank you so much again for having me on and dressing for the occasion.
Hey,
Mwah, thank you.
Hey.
Send a rose.
Y'all get your screenshots ready. Matty, Chad, y'all, let's give them a pose one time. Get your screenshots.
Oh. Okay, ready? Ready?
All right,
yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all have some fun with that.
We're going to be on wallpapers. Get new backgrounds, favorite background. Let's go. Much love, baby. Mwah, my little munchies.
So,
Chip in
Matty,
the building. Yes.
this is your show. We do it however you want. You tell us to shut up, be quiet, sit down, whatever. When you need to, when your people show up, please shout them out, do whatever. But let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
And tell us when your show is.
So I stream 5 days a week on TikTok Live. My schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time until 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. Eastern Time until 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yo, that gets you to the present. That gets us to right now. Now,
Yes,
Matty,
yes,
let's go on a journey.
Gotcha.
Take us on a journey,
Let's
brother.
go.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning when you came scurrying out.
So my mom and dad were at a Molly Hatchet concert making love in the back room of a bathroom. And I'm just kidding.
Yo!
I'm just playing.
Man, I was about to
Listen,
come in with a
got
funky
you.
bass line, Matty.
Oh,
Yeah, do it.
Eric, let's go. That's right. So, as deep as far back, what do we want to exactly get into, starting wise? I came out the womb blessed with beauty, and then about 4 years into my life, I got cursed with diabetes. So there's that. But like I tell everybody, I had to become this beautiful. I had to sacrifice my pancreas. So here we are. We're feeling good. We're thriving, and we're making the best out of it. You know,
Pancreas,
Chad,
couple
we out
kidneys,
here.
dude. It's all good.
Hey, it's not about what you don't have. It's about what you do have, baby. We out here
Sometimes
getting it
you just
in,
gotta
so.
drop those extra things along the way.
No
Good
puppies.
greatness.
Thank you, man.
We've all donated some pieces. It
We
sounds
have,
like.
yes. We still have the most important one, which is our mind. You know, that is over everything. But yeah, so back in the day, when I came out the womb, like I said, I got type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes at age 4. And then a couple years later, my parents ended up splitting when I was age 6. And then that kind of divided and made things. That's where the rockiness of the road started, I believe, for me, was coming up in dual households and adapting to that while also trying to figure out diabetes, which when you're younger, you don't know why you have it. You don't know what it is. You don't know how to live. You're still young and impressionable. You don't have values of any sort. You don't know right from wrong in a sense. You don't you don't know things that you figure out when you're older. So that right there kind of set me up from the jump to turn, I guess, struggle into somewhat triumph or growth in a sense, even though at that age I had no idea. But it's kind of funny how
Sure.
from a young age you go through a struggle to lead you to where we are today.
Yes, you were in our conversation yesterday, which I thoroughly enjoyed, my brother.
Likewise.
You were telling me that you know you remember riding like when you got to high school or in grade school, even before that, like certain scenarios where your parents you'd have to go to the hospital for your diabetes situation, and those car rides, because they were no longer together, would often be pretty uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so you're in this environment where you have this disease that has to be managed, and if you don't manage it, it is life threatening. It is serious business. And you've got your folks who have their own stuff going on, and adult world, and
Yeah.
everybody trying to manage that. And so at a very young age, you had to become very adaptable, I guess, is in part the lesson that I took from that.
Yep.
Was that pretty early on you became really an adaptable kind of guy. And I think that shows in how you move. I think that can still be seen in your wake today.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very challenging. It was, I always say now, realizing it, even when I was a little bit younger, growing into teenage years, I started to realize that in the world of what I could have, of how my life could have went, diabetes was one of the best things that could have happened if I were to get something. So I started to realize that I never pitied myself or anything like that. I wasn't taught to. To me, it was just a way of living life, and that's it. And part of what makes me special when you're a little kid, your parents say, it's just part of what makes you special, And so I believe that from a young age, and I also believe it now. But I will say that in those challenging years, like you said, there was a lot of turmoil, like anyone may have at a young age. And, I had to travel back and forth to Children's Hospital, which is in Boston, Massachusetts, every 3 months for years and years on end. And in the meantime, I'm getting divided in between households. It took them a while to nail down a schedule because they didn't do the child support thing or, custody. They did no lawyer, no judge, split custody. They started to do like every other day. And then that became a lot. And years passed and the schedule got better, always equal time. And the car rides to Boston, I'll never forget the amount of tension you probably could have cut with a spork. You could have cut it with the softest thing imaginable. It was not a pleasant place to be, sitting in between two parents that you don't know why they're no longer together in the same house. There was a lot of emotional turmoil, and you don't know. And then when you start asking, why are you divorced? When you figure out what divorce means, you don't get a straight answer. And for years, even till this day, I know the reason I know what caused the ultimate separation, but they never told me. My brother actually told me why. And he said, if you tell anyone, I'll disown you. And I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But, so, I ended up finding out. But I mean, I'll tell you that turmoil, that time was I don't wish it on anybody. And then you grow up listening to one parent say something rude and mean about the other parent. You get used to the put downs, you get used to the criticism. And then out of nowhere, here I am in teenage years with major resentment and animosity built up towards one of my parents, my dad predominantly, and he didn't do anything wrong to deserve it, but I was in a way brainwashed to see him as some sort of an enemy when he wasn't. And I remember one time he had picked me up and, I was in my early teens, probably around like 14-ish or so. And I'll never forget having the biggest attitude when I was with him of not wanting to be around him. And we pulled into his condo one day, and he kind of was like, what's your problem, sort of thing, like what the heck's going on. And I looked at him and I let him know, and I'll never forget this, and I can't imagine how it made him feel, but I looked at him and I said, I love you because you're my dad, but I don't like you. And man, I could see it in his eyes. He didn't say anything. He looked like he was wanting to cry. He looked frustrated. He looked empty. And the rest of that night and so on was very distant in a sense. Hanson, thank you. So that was just a little glimpse of how, from car rides to teenage years kind of went. That animosity never really went away until later on in my life. And it was wild. It was wild, to say the least. But we're here now. And we have a great relationship, which is the best.
Right on. Right on. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that for sure. You're a very driven dude, man. Story. Yeah, Chad. Like I was saying earlier, man, there's a lot of similarities, man, in all of our journeys in a weird way. But
love you, JLD.
Matty, you've always been a driven guy. You were mentioning in our conversation that, even as a small child, you always try to make people smile. You were always trying to do things to make people happy. And then when you got to high school, is when you got your first job, your first actual legal job. And you're a driven dude. You went on to buy your own first car. You did some radio broadcasting type stuff. A little bit at college during those years, but pretty soon you came to this point in your life where you kind of made this transition.
I love Red Wagon.
Yeah, Red Wagon. And
Red Wagon, One Queen vibes, Chop Chop. There's Just Laying Down. So many beautiful people in here. Heather, so many.
Hit them up, man. Hit them up. It's all good.
No, we love them all. We love them all. I'm sending them kisses. Mwah, thank you. Mwah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Flex Flair, welcome in. Let's go.
And you talked about going through this transition to where you went from
my girl.
From belief in oneself to where you are now, and it was a change in mindset. It was an experience that you had. You were on the way to the gym. And unless I skip forward too much, which I'm happy to go back. I don't want to skip over anything important.
Let's go, Eric. No, you didn't. It all led up to this moment. You know what I mean? So there's no skipping anything.
You're on the way to the gym one day, and this is post high school, and you come across a motivational book.
No, it's a video.
A motivational video, which inspired you to go buy some books and other videos. And
later on in life the books came, but it was videos for a good portion of the time. For YouTube was a godsend.
Take us on that journey a little bit.
Missy Jane.
You dabbled in making some music. Growing up, you listened to music, played video games, a lot of the things that we all kind of did. But you had this transition happen, man, and it changed your life.
It did. So I was working very hard in high school because, my dad wouldn't, I didn't have my mom was essentially poor. My dad was okay, but not great. He was okay. He was in and out of different jobs. He was struggling himself. And then in that process, Red Wagon, thank you. Mwah! Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Absolutely wild. You guys are going crazy. Mwah,
hey, you got Max V in the chat too, buddy. I don't know.
Max V, let's go. Mwah.
You got Max V in the house. He's doing his morning show
Missy
again
J,
now. So.
Red Wagon. Mwah. Thank you to each and every one of you, man. Incredible. Thank you. So yeah, in high school, I had to learn hard work at an early age because it was the only way for me to get anything that I wanted. My mom couldn't afford to give me what I wanted, but she did her best. She showed me at that time, looking back on it, I really saw how strong she was without knowing it in the moment. And that was incredible. The older I got, I actually made a podcast episode about it. that made her cry, and it was just kind of like an ode to my mom. And so I think subconsciously, both of my parents really instilled a little bit more dedication into my lifestyle without ever knowing it. So my dad was one of those dudes, like, if you don't work for it, you're not going to get it type. So I went to work hard, my fast food industry, Dunkin' Donuts. I worked two jobs at one point in high school. I then worked two jobs for a while. Then I found my job that I stayed at for like 10 years, both full-time, part-time, when I got a big boy job after that, they say. But I mean, that little boy job paid for my car. It paid for my first condo at 19. And it showed me a lot more the value of hard work and community service, which is what I do now, just in a different way. Instead of hustling subs, I'm out here hustling motivation. And all that led up until what we were talking about. So I'm out of high school. I went and did a year of radio broadcast learning at a college called Hesser College. Dust off the mic. Mwah, welcome in. That's an incredible creator right there. But so after that, after school, I realized it wasn't for me that first year, and I didn't go back. So I went working full time and part time, grinding 75, 80-hour weeks for years, plus making music and going to the gym 6 days a week. And the lead up to your point, as you were saying, I had a very groundbreaking moment when I was chilling in my room before the gym, and I was cruising the internet. I was cruising YouTube to look for like gym motivation videos, because I used to love getting jacked up watching like bodybuilders and all those things. Thank you for the gifts. Mwah. And I came across this video that changed my life forever from that point on. It made me look at life differently than I ever have. And that motivational video led me on a rabbit hole, on a journey. Betty, thank you. And it led me to find speakers such as Les Brown, a little bit of Tony Robbins, but not much, and multiple other speakers. Eric Thomas was a really big figure in my life. And it was just, like it is. It's never ending. It's like falling down the TikTok rabbit hole. Before you know it, 3 hours passes by, you haven't moved a lick. That was like me with the motivational videos, and that's kind of what started to spark me to look at life differently from that point forward. And then I went on my Matty's motivation journey, which started on FB.
Matty's motivation journey was the jumping off point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got tired of seeing so much negativity in my newsfeed, even at a young age. And I decided to just flood it. I just decided to flood it with positivity and hello. And, I just started posting a ton of motivational thoughts and some things that I would share from the videos, and obviously giving them credit. But it just compiled, and became so much that after a while of posting on my personal page, I decided to create my own dedicated motivational page, since so many people were loving the post. And I said, well, I'll give these people on my feed room to breathe, and I'll just give it to them where they can know where to find it. And then I had that page still till this day. I've had it for so long. I've had it for over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, Matty's motivation, the date I had written down in my notes when you were talking about that was 2010. So
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, you got it dialed in now, though, Matty. I bet the motivation you bring now is a little different than the mojo you was bringing then.
Tenfold. There is a glimpse. There are little aspects of motivation, but where I have been over the past 2 going on 3 years is more of an enlightening, spiritual type of journey and wisdomatic type thoughts. So, it led me to this point, and it's been absolutely incredible.
Well, you look, man, You also mentioned something I wrote down here is during that journey you learn better how to carry yourself. Could you explain for some folks what I get what you're saying, man, and I feel you. Chad and I have had similar conversations about
Yeah.
like that exact topic. So would you
Hmm.
mind sharing just a little bit more of your thought process on that?
Yeah, not at
Just
all. Thank you for asking. It was once that light flipped on within myself, I felt different. And when you feel different, you just automatically, naturally, whether you acknowledge it or not, you just carry yourself differently. And I decided to start carrying myself in the light of what I saw in these other speakers that have made a successful career out of it. Not that I was trying to become to play professional basketball. They're going to look at LeBron James today. They're going to look at Kobe Bryant. They're going to look at Michael Jordan, Wilt the Stilt. They're going to look at Larry Bird. No matter what era you look at, you're going to mirror the greats. And, Les Brown and Eric Thomas, those were two of the greats for me, and that's what caused me to start walking different, in a sense, not much, but just carrying myself differently, with a better outlook on life. Not that I had a very negative one, but I was able to speak to people in a way that I couldn't before, with having more knowledge and clarity and development behind me and under my belt. So the motivation really didn't just turn on a light within me to see, it also turned a light on so I could see and then guide myself through the message that I was sharing. So just kind of started to look the part, I guess you could say, in my own unique way.
so that little kid that just wanted to make people smile has now got it dialed in. he ain't just making them smile. He's reaching inside their soul and changing
Yeah.
something about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If they are open to listening, you know what I mean? Shout out One Queen.
You mentioned to me that you saw yourself as a spiritual being that's open to being a tool for the universe. Like
Yeah.
you just working for the universe, homie.
Yeah, man. My only
Yeah.
boss in life is the universe. I don't have like a supervisor or anyone like that. I mean, I move out of intuition, and I just work through the universe. I say a lot of times to anybody that's never been to one of my live broadcasts, I share live freestyle motivational and inspirational speeches. So if you've ever watched a Les Brown video, a Tony Robbins video, a TD Bishop Jakes video, I do that, but freestyle on the spot during live streams. Um, and it's just been an incredible way to kind of speak to people's soul. But a lot of people say, oh my God, I needed to hear that. You had no idea. And it's like, I didn't, but the universe did, which is why I appreciate your time. And I'll say thank you, but don't thank me. Thank the powers that be, because the universe knew you were in this chat at this time, using me as a vessel to translate a message that you needed to hear. Um, and that's how I look at what I do. I don't really take any merit or status or anything like that, because it's not me. It's what I'm passionate about and what I'm here for. You know.
Yeah, man, it comes through too. You're passionate about it, and it happens. You manifest it for sure, brother. You
Todd.
manifest it all day, all day.
Yeah.
To get to talk to you off a platform, I can go ahead and say this dude is the same guy. He is, like, we had a conversation about that actually, and Chad and I have to modify slightly. Like, I probably curse a lot more in real life, as an example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might be a little more sarcastic in real life, but sarcasm don't necessarily always come across on this platform. So kind of
No,
try to
I feel
tailor
that.
that back a little bit. So,
Yeah.
but all the main components are there. Matty Pace is Matty Pace wherever you find him, and that's cool, man. That's it's just like dialed back a little. Like, you have to protect like your personal stuff, like your family, your
Yeah.
people. You know what I mean? But outside of
Yeah.
that, Dude's an open book. He was willing to talk about anything and everything, and thoughtfully and knowledgeably. So I really appreciate that, man. That was a great experience. Maybe you can expand on this a little bit. But you said, don't let people shake your tree to the point that you start dropping them fruit.
Yes.
And I love it, man. Can you expand on that concept just a little bit, man? I think that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me read it again for you. And let me interject real quick right here. Fruit.
Yes.
And I love it, man. Can you expand on that concept just a little bit, man? I think that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me read it again for you. And let me interject real quick right here. Can you expand on that concept just a little bit, man? I think that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me read it again for you. And let me interject real quick right here. Don't ask him the basic stuff. Come with some good questions for him, some in-depth questions for him. But yeah, that quote was, don't let people shake your tree to the point that you start dropping them fruit. And I love it, man. I love it. Chad loves it too. I can tell you that. He's frozen right now, but he loves it.
That's okay.
What you think? Well, talk to me about that, Matty, please.
Yeah, that quote actually, it like many things, it just came out organically. Don, welcome in. I was on a live stream one day and it just kind of came out of me. And basically what it means is, certain people are going to try to do things to get a reaction out of you. And one of the worst things that you could do is give it to them, because to me, you're just playing their game. You now become their victim. You now are getting emotionally impacted because of something they said or did. And the more that you do that, the further away from being in this beautiful moment you become. And when you start dropping them fruit, they're going to start taking it from you by the bundle, because they see, I got him. Now I know how to ruffle his feathers. And people do it for all kinds of different reasons, but there's not one direct reason why people do that stuff to others. But like I said, why give somebody, like you wouldn't give a screaming kid a cookie and say, you're being amazing. So why would you do the same thing for someone who clearly isn't worth your time and just trying to get a rise out of you? You know what I mean? So that's kind of where that stemmed from, on a deeper level. But yeah, very short and very, very, I guess you could say wittingly, yeah, don't let anyone shake your tree to the point you start dropping them fruit, because it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? What up, baby?
And here's the thing that I love about that too, man, is it is a positive solution to a negative problem from my perspective.
Facts.
It is something that's identified. We can't do anything about it. It's out there. It happens. And instead of letting it be who you are, you just kind of roll with it, and that almost defangs that thing. So I know, Chad, I'm not sure how much you were able to hear there because you froze, but I feel like what he was just speaking on, you can totally relate to. You if you were able to hear, you got any thoughts, buddy?
I heard parts of that. I actually had to dip out and try to fix my internet and come back.
You did good. You fixed it.
Now.
I hope it's working now.
So here's the quote. Clever. Did you hear the quote that I read that he gave yesterday? Here's the quote, Chad, and he just expanded on it, but it says, don't let people shake your tree to the point that you start dropping them fruit. And basically, it's, don't give oxygen, like we've talked about, don't give oxygen to the negativity. And I was just pointing out that I felt like it was a positive approach to a negative problem.
Yeah.
And
it really is. It goes into even some deeper things that I've seen you post. One of the big common things we have is Alan Watts and a lot of stuff he talks about.
Oh, yeah. Love Alan Watts. Changed my whole life. It kind of goes back to what, we've talked about many a times of, not necessarily fighting, but just following the flow and redirecting and not letting it push you down, letting the wind push the sail. You guide the direction, but the wind pushes the sail, the wake of the boat doesn't, like Alan Watts said, the wake of the boat does not control its direction. The wake of the
Yes.
boat is just the splashing of the water as the boat moves forward. So
Uh-huh.
just focus on where you're directing the boat. Don't worry about the wake.
It's
You're
behind you.
only, yeah, it's behind you. You only have where you are and where you're going. That's it.
Yes. And if you're letting them shake you to the core, then you're not moving anywhere. You're just standing
Like
there
they
shaking, losing
said,
all your fruit.
that's right. And that's where
That's
it
why I
came from.
love
Maybe,
Matty
maybe
Pace.
subconsciously influenced by Alan Watson. I didn't know until this moment. So I love you too.
Maybe.
You never know.
Nah.
You never know. Either way, it's a great message. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
something that a lot of people can resonate with because nobody's impervious to life. And
Ooh,
you can't
sure.
get out of it alive. And that's why I believe that, a problem is just a solution, but spelled differently. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes those problems can sit you in a better place once you've redirected.
Yeah, your emotions screw up everything a lot of times when you're in a troubled state. They get in the way of you finding the solution or creating it because you're now fueling something that really isn't even there. You're fueling your attachment to the problem and making the problem from a pebble to a boulder. And now before you
Sure.
know it, that thing's almost like a wildfire where, it's going to burn for as far, long, and wide as it can. And sometimes they're manageable, a lot of times they're uncontrollable. And that's kind of how I perceive problem solutions and, your willingness to kind of navigate through those two things.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, it's a it is a weird place sometimes. You're trying to
Fear
spread
getting
positivity, and you got to come up with strategies how to deal with the negativity. And I just like how you navigate that. I like how you move through
Thank you.
that
Yeah, it
space.
took a
You know
lot
what I
of
mean?
time. Took a lot of time, took a lot of trial and error, took a lot of work, took a lot
Sure.
of personal growth because, man, when people say something, you know, some things can hurt more than others, or some things can stop you in your tracks and make you feel a certain way. You see, your heart skips a beat. All of a sudden, you feel like you're getting red in the face. And it's just like anything, it's about bring yourself back into this moment. Be here
Mm-hmm.
now, in the words of
Yes.
Ram Dass, Alan Watts. Be here
Yeah.
now. But that only comes
Yes.
through growing internally and personally, and that's a challenging journey for most, myself included. It had been a very challenging thing because they don't teach you how to do it in school.
No,
It's some
not at
they
all.
they don't teach you. Your parents probably don't even teach you a lot of times because you see generational mistakes. By this time, I said history is one of the best and yet dumbest classes I've ever had in my life because you're showing me a history book, but we're still repeating the same mistakes from back in the day. What are you teaching in this class? Show us a new way. Show us how to create a future. Show us how to create more abundance in
Yes.
our life. Show us how to dissect why people are making the same mistakes.
Ooh.
Nobody does
Ooh.
that. And they don't, the curriculum that's set up is not built for you to succeed. It's built for you to struggle until you learn how to succeed if you learn. But a lot of the problems that we're faced with in this moment are generational. They're not even you.
Yes.
They're somebody else's
Right.
trauma. They're your mom or your dad, your aunt, your uncles, your grandparents. They're whoever you were closest with growing up. That's their problems, not you. And that's something
And
that a lot
before
of
them, and
people,
before them, and
yeah,
before
it's
them.
it's a repetitive process. That's why a lot of times those bad dirty habits, thank you for the gifts, they come back around. That's why people are
Mm-hmm.
raised under the influence. They don't even have a chance, and their free shot at life got ruined by somebody else's tainted image of what they think life is. And that's all opinion. And that's the worst thing about seeing a lot of troubled people these days is that they don't know this stuff, but they can discover it. But I'm confident that 95% of people don't, and they won't because it's too tough or whatever else they want to say. It's an uncomfortable journey, but it's the most beneficial at that, which is why when you find people that fit in your community or your general sphere of life, you hold on to those people closely and you appreciate and value them and make them feel as grateful for for you as you are for them in a sense. That's just kind of how I believe in that. That was I went off the cuff there on a very large tangent, but
That was good. No,
that's
man,
just,
that's good.
yeah,
That's beautiful, man. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
facts. And I
Um,
see a lot of great comments adding on to that. And you guys couldn't be more accurate. It's so true. So beautiful to see that people in this community have experienced some of that, self growth.
yeah, if there's any comments you'd like to talk to or whatever, this is your show, man. Please feel free to feel free to whatever. Uh, I uh I have another thing written down here that you said, which is live in the moment and work toward things you want to happen in the future, which to me is another way of manifesting, right? But I
Yeah.
really like that. Live in the moment and work towards the things you want to happen in the future. I think that's great advice, actually, for the overwhelming majority of folks out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it ties into what you were just saying. I
I love you
believe.
hearing me.
You got
Yeah,
some amazing
facts.
people too in the chat, man. Bob Not So Ross and Max V
Oh yeah,
and
Bob
Lens
Not So Ross. That's
Creative.
my guy. There's so many beautiful individuals in this chat at once. I mean, it's just a testament to you and chat and what you guys do over here. It's not just me, it's a collective thing. I think it's beautiful.
It's an honor actually to get to work with so many cool people that are doing
It's
really
amazing,
thoughtful
man. This
things, man.
platform is huge. That's why I always say it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. This is bigger than TikTok.
Yes, absolutely. The
Rocky
other
Dean,
the,
let's go.
the other thing we probably need to get some copy of is making the negativity week 5 days
Yeah,
a week.
Red
I
Wagon.
love that. Making the
Yeah.
negativity week 5
Facts, let's
days a week.
go.
7 if you count Saturday and Sunday, because this
That's
man here
right.
puts out content on Saturday and Sunday, even if he don't do a live. So he's
Yeah.
every single day you could go to Matty's
I love
page
you, Red Wagon.
and find something inspirational every
Every
single day.
day. Every
Dude,
day.
and hey, that's key too. I'd like to talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what would you like?
There's something else that we all kind of have in common in a way, and that's the grind. We all are about the grind. Like,
Thanks,
you've
Brett.
got to enjoy the journey. You've got to actually enjoy what you're doing.
Max. Yeah, for sure.
On a lot of levels, I think.
You got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy the process, man. I mean, if you don't enjoy what you do, why are you wasting time doing something you don't enjoy doing? And I think a lot of people just get comfortable and complacent, which is why they cling, in a way, they cling to suffering because they cling to what's familiar. And a lot of times what's familiar is what they've gotten used to. And what they've gotten used to is what makes them unhappy,
Right.
and it just becomes familiar.
And there's this dynamic too. I think that as you change your mindset and as you start looking at things more positively, you find more positive things. And
Yeah.
what I used to do for a
Enigma.
living, and what I used to do, you could see that
Young
happen
Spence.
with people. People have a sourpuss attitude.
Yeah.
And what they see is negativity. Every interaction they have, they come
Yeah.
away with that interaction with some negative something. And
Mm-hmm.
that is 95% mindset in my view. I
Yeah.
agree with you there that
Yeah.
it's it is you get it's like the algorithm for TikTok. You get what
Mondo.
you feed it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, man, that's an algorithm on any platform. It's not the algorithm that is, why am I seeing nothing but negativity? It's because you are commenting or liking or watching those videos. So your algorithm is based on, what you do. And I said I came out with a video, Spence, thank you for the roses. I came out with a video and
Flex.
I said, don't let the algorithm mess up your rhythm. Don't let the algorithm mess up your rhythm. Just because you see something negative doesn't mean you have to fuel it. They have buttons you can press to delete those videos, to dislike so it doesn't show up in your feed. And,
Right.
it's all about, like you said, your mindset. I believe in that big time. Your mindset's everything. It's one of the fundamental, I want to say, attributes in building a solid foundation.
See,
And
I agree, man, and I think
Yeah.
that part of the beauty in that construct that you're discussing is it has a certain amount of accountability in it. And I think that is also necessary, right? You're willing to hold yourself accountable. And that I think there's another exchange where problems happen because people they want to hold you accountable, but they don't ever want to hold themselves accountable. And they never going to make any progress because you know what I mean? So like they see you doing good, they see you vibing out and they mad, they sourpussing, right? So instead of trying to come to your level, instead of trying to come to your vibration, they trying to bring your vibration to their vibration. And
man, it's crazy out here.
And the truth of it is though, once they are able to stop and look at and look at that portion of it, like, hey, it's all up to you. Like you can't blame other people for your unhappiness. You have got to find a way to, not you specifically, Matty. You got this dialed
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But people be looking for their happiness in what other folks are doing instead of being on their own grind. And you've been on the grind. You were talking about 2 jobs in high school. I'm same boat, man. I was sweeping driveways and the roofs of trailers before I could legally work. Right, taking out trash, raking yards, whatever. Yeah. But I love what I do, for example. Like I absolutely love what I do. So people are like, man, you don't ever sleep. You always on the grind. No, man, I love what I do. It's like I've only got so many days that I'm going to wake up from now until the last one. I want to get them in. I want to get the most of them. And Mondo. And I think with what you do, Mondo. Matty, I think you help people realize that. I think you help bring people to that. And you do it in a positive way. You can't stand over somebody and tell them they need to improve themselves. But you can stand next to somebody and tell them to walk with you. Yeah. Hey, I'm already on this journey. All you got to do is walk along with me.
That's it. You show somebody, like, I'm a big fan of letting your work match the words you speak, or if you don't want to speak, let your actions outweigh any amount of words you could ever preach, because it's easy to manipulate people and it's easy to lie. And that becomes a common thing for a lot of people, unfortunately. But the one thing you can't cheat is how much effort you put in. And people see that, especially when you are consistent or not consistent. And that's why part of my commitment to posting so often isn't just to expand and show people different messages or ways to look at life, different perspectives, but I show you all aspects of me so you can see the consistency in the work talk for itself. I'll post videos from me from the gym when most people are still in bed, wanting to hit the alarm, the snooze 10 times. They see me up and getting it. And that right there could, be more valuable than any amount of words I could ever say. Just somebody seeing, oh, Matty's up. Let me get my ass out of bed. I got some things to do today.
Yes.
If he can do it, I can do it. And that's it. And I've gotten DMs from a couple of people in my journey of posting like fitness and things like that, just my walks to the gym. And like I say, man, you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking. You never know who's listening. So walk with a purpose, talk with a purpose, act with passion, and always do your best to be the best version of yourself at every given moment, no matter how you feel. Not saying to ignore how you feel, but don't get emotional and start lashing out at people for something they didn't do because you're in your feels. That just goes to show how much work a lot of people still need. But if you're willing to do the uncomfortable digging, Papa Smurf, let's go. Thank you. You'll be willing to get the unconventional results that many won't. What's the common quote? If you do what others don't, so tomorrow you'll get what others won't.
Woo! Woo!
I think that was Jim Rohn who said that. I got you. Do what others don't, so tomorrow you get what others won't.
Nice. Another dude that stays on the grind, right down there below. Look, including He just climbed up in the top of a pine tree and put some tinfoil and shit up there, and that's how we got Chad Rev Art back right now. He battling with the internet at the moment.
Pretty much.
That's my guy.
My apologies, Matty. I'm trying to stay with it. My interwebs is not being cool.
There is nothing to apologize. There's nothing to apologize for. You're good.
Oh, he told me he was going to do that, Matty. He was like, Matty started talking too much. I'm just going to dip out.
He's got the disconnect, the DC. He's got the DC underneath the deck with a little movement of the foot.
Just dipping in. Click.
I love it.
Click in.
Yeah, it's all good. You're good.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for the love.
You know the good thing about Matty Pace, y'all,
Young
is you can
baby.
get off of here and go elsewhere and come right back at whatever time you want, and Matty's still going to be like emitting light and speaking truths that will better you at any given time. All the time.
10 a.m.
Every time.
5 hours of steady, consistent energy. You know, it's a beautiful process, and it's great that you feel that way because, like I said, the reason that, you know, just to add on to it, the reason I'm so passionate when I go live and with what I do is because, like I always say, I genuinely have zero expectations of anybody being present in my streams, my videos, my life. So when you do show up and you're not expected to, think about a family member telling you, honey, I can't make it to Thanksgiving, and it's one of it's your favorite aunt. Next thing you know, Thanksgiving comes, you're bummed, you're missing your aunt. All of a sudden, she walks through the door. How amazing does that feel? That is how I feel every day I go live and I see people come into the community.
Yes,
it's not about the number of people. It's not about the quantity of individuals, because I know the people that do show up, whether it's 1 or 1,000, are quality individuals. And that is what I wish more creators could value and look at and appreciate. People get caught up in analytics and things that they can't even control. They worry about who's not there, so they force out who is there. And it shows their true intentions. Listen, when you believe in yourself, when you know how dope you are, you don't have to rely on numbers to tell it to you. You know who you are. You know what you do. You know what you bring to the table. So own it, appreciate, be grateful, and stop expecting things from people.
Woo.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, do what you do and do it well, and the numbers come, right? If you do what you do and you do it well, then you ain't got to worry about that other stuff. I agree 100%.
Hey, man, listen, everybody starts off at 0 followers, you know?
Yes. Matty, you've been listening to me again on our private conversations? Like today?
Yeah. I'm hacking your system.
Today and a couple of days ago, and the week before that, the month before that.
The taco emoji lead. Yeah, I'm the reason your internet keeps going out, by the way.
That's because you're so
the reason
awesome,
your internet
Matty.
keeps going out.
You're so positive the interweb can't handle it.
Yeah, that or I'm hacking, you know?
Both. I go with both.
Man.
I got to say, somebody was in here earlier and commented whether or not this was the beard gang. I think the hats are more prominent than the beards.
I mean, they're all beautiful.
I think maybe it's just
they're
three
all different
sexy
sizes
mugs.
and styles. It is 3 sexy individuals, you know? Let's go, Lita.
We might break some cameras today, y'all.
Man, I'm just happy y'all let me in your sexy man club today.
My man, Mal G in the building, Viking Nerf, welcome in. Thank you.
What up? What up?
Chop. Yeah,
chop,
so that's
chop.
my little spiel on that. The expectations of life and how beautiful it is when people actually, you don't expect them, but they come in. It's like, holy smokes! Thank you so much, Mal. I love your face. So yeah.
Well, so folks, if you got some questions for Matty, he's been kind enough to share his time with us today. He's been kind enough to offer to answer some questions. So now's your chance. Viking. If you had something you wanted to throw out there,
casserole.
The mods, y'all pin them. If you see anybody throw anything down, go ahead and pin them up for him.
Yeah,
and there's no rush. Just be thinking about them. And
yeah, take your time. We still have other topics to discuss. Or I know you had other questions and things written down. So I'm here. I'm yours.
Man,
Chad, before you fall off the face of the earth again, man, you want to throw something in here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. So me and Gannon have been doing the shows Again, project, which y'all are watching right now, the Chad Rev Art Show. And we're constantly getting messages, okay, about how we help folks and how our positivity does stuff, okay? And all I can think is, first off, is, wow, how do we even do this? Like, I say it all the time, like, I can't believe people even think about us, much less take action upon it, to write a message, to send art, whatever it may be. But what I want to tell everybody here, because these are the folks who are doing this for us, and it picks me up daily, Matty. I'm not even going to joke. Like, these folks here in the chat right now keep me going, and that's not me talking just trying to make everybody feel better. That's the universe's honest truth. You can ask this dude I talk to all the time.
I don't doubt it for a minute.
But let me tell you, as special as that is, okay, and as awesome and as wonderful as that is, you guys, the people that you write these messages to that I'm speaking about, myself and Gin, I personally go to this man to be inspired.
That's money. Thank you.
So while all these folks say, Chad, you've done so many great things and you're doing such awesome stuff, I want you to understand that the man that you're writing to goes to the man in the big window to be able to continue what I do and what he does. Like, dude, there are not words for the inspiration that you give me, dude. Like, I know this is probably going to blow your mind, homie. And I'm not just like, I'm not blowing smoke. I am being just dead honest with you. And again, watch his face. You can tell if I'm lying or not when I say this. Dude, you know, one of the things that we've talked about that there's a commonality between us is like Alan Watts and people of that ilk, okay?
Yes, yes.
Dude, you give me inspiration like they do. And I want you to know that. Like, obviously, all of those folks that we talk about, you know, that we both listen to and take things from, you have your own thing and it's different from them. I'm not saying you're like Alan Watts or you're like these other folks. What I'm saying is the inspiration and the way that you pick people up is in line with those folks. Sheesh. And I want you to know that, Matty. And the reason I want you to know that is because I know constantly that you pick me up and that you bring joy into my life and you make me think differently by listening to the things you have to say, whether it's live or your videos. Amazing. So I want you to know that, man, because if you're able to pick me up and help me go on to help other people, I want you to know that. So maybe in some small little way, if you have a down day, that maybe that'll be in the back of your mind that, like, you're reaching through one conduit that reaches out to other people.
Woo! Can do.
And there's no telling how many folks do things that like me and Gin do that you're affecting and influencing. So you're not only getting these masses of people that, and I see them every day, that come to you for this pick me up and this enlightenment, but so many of those folks in there are taking that and spreading it into their thousands of people.
I love it.
Yeah, thousands of people. So please know, I hope that can pick you up even 1% in the way that you do for all of us, Matty.
Well, thank you so much for, I mean, that's like probably the highest form of compliment I could ever receive. That's crazy. Rashad, thank you for the love, man. Thank you. Much love to each and every one of you here. Kristen, everybody, welcome in. Thank you, Rashad, for the generosity, my boy. Thank you. But Chad, you have no idea. That is, I mean, you know how much Alan Watts is it's Alan Watts. That's crazy. So
I didn't choose that out of the air. Like,
I know you didn't. I know, and I appreciate it. So I gracefully accept that compliment, and I do appreciate it, and I'm gonna keep that with me forever. You know.
Please
Kristen,
do.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's unreal. That is unreal and surreal. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that compliment.
I hope it pays back like 1% to help lift you up like you do others, dude. That's, I mean,
Man, it definitely moved me. I'll tell you that. You saw my reaction. Kat, Rashad, Kristen, you guys are going crazy. Wow, thank you. Yeah, no, it means the
these
world.
people are loving on you, dude. I'm sorry to go through when all your people are loving on you.
No, they're loving on you guys too.
I wanted you to know that, man. Like, it's very important. When I tell y'all I love some Matty Pace, that's not me just blowing and going because we have a show and I'm trying to be cool. I know I'm like insane on here half the time, but once in a while I dial everything back and y'all are seeing me not all wound and crazy. And I'm just going to drop knowledge on you when I do those things. This is the dude right here. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, it's an honor and a pleasure. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with both of you and also this beautiful community. And those words right there really hit home, and they're special. So thank you.
We family now, Matty.
I love it. I love it. Family ain't a blood thing.
You're right about that. I'd be in trouble if it was.
I feel you. Oh, hey, baby, thank you. Thank you for the trains.
You know, to add on to that, Matty, while they showering you with some love, which is wonderful. Thank y'all so much for showing Matty so much love. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for showing these guys love too. This is crazy. I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you. To kind of go along with what he's saying, but to expand on that a little bit.
Right, Kristen.
I feel like you're important for another reason, Matty. I feel like you're important.
You guys are pouring it on.
Because well, think about it in this context, man.
I'm just messing. I'm just messing. I love it. I love it.
We were all raised as dudes to act, you know, in culturally speaking, in certain ways, and I think it's really important for men, especially men who at least are trying to have their shit together, to get out front, get out front and be like, hey, look, we don't need to reach for violence first. We don't need to reach for hate first. We don't need to reach, because like you mentioned earlier, those are the easy things to reach for, right? Those are the things the emotions get us going on, right? It's easy.
Low level vibrations. Todd, much love.
Right. So I think another important role that you feel, whether it's willingly or not, that we all feel actually, is men being willing to step forward and say, hey, there's a different way to do things. In my life, I was rewarded for violence. Let's put it starkly, right? In my life, I've been rewarded for being able to be violent, whether it's, you know, fighting in the street or fighting relative, whatever it is.
Gotta earn respect.
Right. But here's the truth. I think that you have a bigger impact on people's lives when you help them change, when you help them be themselves, be their true self. And instead of being a fake somebody and being upset about it, help them be their true self. So I think just as a man, you stepping forward and talking about the things that you talk about is absolutely necessary in our society, in our world today. I think it is that important. I think it is crucial. And I think it ties into what y'all were talking about just a minute ago. But I think it's more important than that, Matty. I think literally the world needs Matty Pace. The world needs people that are trying to elevate, that are trying to take that mojo to another level. And bring folks with them, right? That's the difference, Matty. That's the difference. You ain't trying to. You ain't using the violence to climb. You're using the love to bring everybody with you. So we all going up the hill together. We all there together.
That's what it's all
and
about.
When we start sliding back, if there's enough of us, when we start sliding back, then if it's me, you and Chad can reach out and be like, yo, Gin, we got you, man. Like don't jump off. Like, you know what I mean?
Hold on, wait a minute.
So I think that's another place where you're leading, I mean, I feel some of that too. I know Chad does too, because we've discussed this. It's important to us. The very first two guests I ever had on the Gin Project were Painting at Tiffany's and SA Artistries, and that was not an accident.
They're amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I do.
Those are. I'm using them as an example because those are two women that have been behind the scenes, and Haley Beth have been behind the scenes of the Gin Project since its inception, since we started. And a lot of the reason that we do the things that we do on the Gin Project show and on the Chad Rev Art show are direct results of advice given to us by Tiffany or by SA Artistries. That's a fact.
Heather's hobbies.
And that helps me navigate this weird world that we're in. And I just wanted to point out,
it's
man,
weird
that you have an important role.
It's weird.
And it is bigger than you are at this point. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Your impact is bigger than you are now.
Oh, facts. Yeah, it always has been. I think now it's just getting recognized more. And that's the beautiful thing, because it's like I say, it's not about me. It's about a bigger purpose. And that's why every day it's such a beautiful feeling to do what I do. And as I'm sure both of you feel whenever you start streaming and start seeing people, kid, let's go. Mwah, thank you for the roses. But yeah, I really appreciate that. I agree too. I definitely agree that, you know, you got to be the change you seek in the world, right?
Do you feel
a lot of us were told.
Do you feel like as a man you have a particularly, at this point in time, just at this point in time, do you feel like the maleness and your approach to that maleness has a particular impact? I mean, is that a conscientious thing, or is that just how you're rolling?
I think that it's just a kind of like a reaction to what you know, my action. You know, like they said, what was it, Albert Einstein? Every action has an equal but positive reaction. I think it's just a reaction to what I've been putting out in the universe. And it just so happens that I am a man, and whatever people could label me as, I am flamboyant. I am, you know, myself. I am unique, and I am who I am, and I own every portion of me, and I love myself dearly. And that's the beautiful thing, is I think that other men understand and feel that, okay, this dude, maybe at first I thought he was faking. He was trying to be someone he's not, but I've watched this dude for like 100 days in a row, and he has not changed. Like, wow. And that right there, like I said, some of your biggest supporters are people you've never had a conversation with. And that to me is a beautiful thing, because like I said, you never know who's watching, looking, and listening. So I believe, yes, to an extent, my being a male and doing what I do and how I do it has made other men feel a little bit more comfortable about being vulnerable and being who they are and embracing what they are trying to shield from the world, or have tried to shield for many years, because of their inferiority complex of how they're going to be perceived and judged by other people. So yeah, I believe my willingness to be authentic and spread my joy in this life has aided a lot of men and a lot of people in general to be more comfortable in their own skin, and even more embrace what they have been told are flaws.
Absolutely. Yes. Say that again. Embrace what we have been taught were flaws. That's heavy, man. That's a heavy statement.
That might be a ever-existing thread in what Gen and I have been saying since our shows were very first started.
I had to go on and hack you before I went.
Very much. That's a constant current thread through all of our work and everything we've done. And the man just spit it out right there, y'all.
It's true. I mean, at least I know it to be true, and I believe it's true. So,
yes, sir.
You know, and I see the results. So it's hard to disprove something when you have the results, right?
And it goes hand in hand too, right? When you decide in your own brain your path, the journey, and the journey is you and yours, and it's how you decide to approach it. It is very freeing. It allows space for change. It allows us to be able to say, hey, look, I might have been wrong about this, or
that's a good one.
Or I could have a little different view on this, or whatever. But it's all got to start from within, and that's the beautiful thing that you always drive home, that I always see you talking about, is that, hey, it starts with you. You've got to be willing to make the change. You've got to be willing to accept who you are, and you've got to be willing to become something better. And nobody else can do it for you.
No, And even if they could, it wouldn't feel as good. You'd still be empty. You'd still be empty to an extent. You know, it's like they say money can't buy happiness. And Albaz, welcome in. I disagree. I believe money can buy you happiness, but that's the version of somebody doing the work for you and you getting the result. It's that the result's not sustainable because you're relying on something else externally to give you that feeling of success and accomplishment. So to me, I'm a firm believer that money can buy happiness. You can't tell me otherwise because I feel real happy if I were to be able to go buy a new car right now. But the feeling wears off once that new car gets a couple of miles.
Well, it's not
Maybe
new.
you get in an accident, whatever it is. So to me, it's not about happiness. It's about fulfillment. Because fulfillment, through being fulfilled, self-fulfillment brings the rest. And you can't have fulfillment of self unless you have self-love. So the true richness of life is not in your wallet, it is in your heart. And that to me is a fundamental that I have learned, especially in the past couple of years, more than any other time in my life.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing, like you were talking about earlier, it's about that locus, right? That locus of control. If you
Christian,
have,
that's wild.
Whoa!
that
Thank
was
you
awesome.
for my little
Amazing.
jellyfishes. I'm
That's
swimming in an
amazing.
aquarium. I'm about to turn into Matty Dolphin. Thank you so much, Kristen. Goodness. Mwah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Lighten it
Thank you
up.
for the fireworks.
Amazing.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kristen.
Talk to your people, Matty. Shout them out. They're in the chat on you, man. They all up on you, man.
Kristen, she is one of the most beautiful people I have come in contact with. I mean, everyone's beautiful. Kristen has been amazing. Red Wagon, Cat Art. There's so many. C Money. There are so many people in this chat right now that have
Lita.
been with me for a little while. Lita and I had just recently met, but our connection is pure and amazing. I eat casserole from the back. I love that person right there because always has shown so much love, and the name itself is just hilarious. It brings a smile to my face. SA Artistries, I mean, Renee, Heather, there's so many. Mondo, the Can Do Artist. I mean, there's so many names in the chat right now that are amazing, especially you and Gin and also Chad. So, I mean, I'm just sharing the love.
I threw Chad out, man. It's about me and you now, baby. I threw Chad out.
Well, then I take back what I said. All of it gets redirected to you. So, Kristen, that's wild. Thank you for lighting up the chat on me.
Man.
Thank you. Mwah. You're wild for that, Kristen. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much for showing some love.
What are those? Purple cranes?
Yes.
I've never even seen that.
Yeah. If you hold them down, you can change the color on those. She got it dialed in, man. She got it dialed in.
Rocky Dean, oh man, I love Rocky Dean so much too. Rocky Dean's the best puppy on TikTok. Mwah. Don't tell him my boy Rich Outman I said that. He has beautiful little wiener dogs. I love him. Thank you.
Hey,
thank you so much. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, casserole. I eat casserole from the back. Like you can't not laugh when you say that.
That's a great
Kristen,
handle.
Thank you. Ooh, girl, I smell sweet. Thank you.
Wow. Did you just get some cologne?
Thank you, Kristen. I got some, yeah. Kristen always likes to make sure I look good and smell good. So thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you.
Kristen's dope. Thank you, Kristen.
Rocky
That's
Dean, let's go.
amazing.
But yeah, so I mean, the love speaks for itself, man. It's just absolutely incredible. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an incredible experience, and I'm excited to continue to see where it goes. But it hasn't always been this smooth for myself. It's been very troubling, very dark at times, and you know, it's been an ever-growing process. But I can confidently say that where I am today, for all those really challenging and dark times, because they led to where I am now.
You know, Chad and I have had people actually come in our lives and threaten to unalive themselves. And
yeah,
and I'm a veteran, and 22 a day we lose just in that group, and have been for years. And so there's a lot of hurting people out there, and hurt people oftentimes.
I got you.
And I think that another role that you feel is providing space for them to change that thought process. Because like you said, you have some experience in being in those dark places. Chad does as well, and I do too.
Oh yeah.
And people are vulnerable in that space when they're in that headspace. And coming at it with kindness and with understanding and with compassion, I think literally saves lives, brother. I think it absolutely saves lives.
Yeah, compassion and understanding, empathy, forgiveness, love. I mean, they say nothing's more powerful than love, and it's true, you know?
I agree 100%. Mr. Rev, you all right down there? Yeah, it's like,
It's going wild. Love is key, baby. Love of self leads to love for everyone else. Theria asked, how did I embark on my healing journey? And the question is beautiful, and the answer is simple. It was really a moment where inside I had to listen to myself internally. I had a really, I guess somebody could call it a good job, making good money, good benefits, PTO, everything to keep you trapped, doing something you don't really love but don't hate for 60 years of your life. Yeah, but I had hit a crossroad where it was, yo, Basher, welcome in. Much love, man. So good to see you. Thank you for coming on by. Shout out to Gin and Chad. Check them out. And so what led me to my healing journey and more growth, I guess you could say, on a spiritual enlightenment level was I hit a crossroad. I could stay doing what I knew the outcome would be without even having to question it. And I could also do something that I felt morally against and didn't want to do to stay there. Or I could say, screw it. I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to just put my life in the hands of the universe, and whatever happens, happens. I'll figure it out, you know? Plenty of people told me for a long time, what are you doing here? One of the most self-defeating thoughts and ideas in myself was, what am I doing here? And then when other people can feel something different in you, they start asking you that same question. And the more you get asked that question, the deeper down that hole you go. And that's kind of pre all of this change put me into a depression and, had me contemplating suicide at one time in my life. And that was one of the darkest roads I've ever been down. And I don't wish that on anybody. But in essence, it led me to where I am today. So, honestly, I love depression because it led me to who I am and who I've become. But you don't ever say that when you're in it because you can't see it that way, because your eyes are painted red. And until you grow through it and become more aware, more self-love, then you can be like, damn, I love depression. That led me to where I am, baby. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing. It was challenging, but it was worth it. Not everything worth having comes easy, and anything that's easy ain't worth having, they say.
And it's about embracing the journey. Like, there's another example of you embracing the journey and being in the moment and understanding that, there will be another moment right here, right now.
I didn't know how to find my way out. I just kind of kept, one thing that I did was just go one more day. I didn't end it. Something inside of me just couldn't bring myself to officially end it. And I said, one more day. And I just kept walking that path, and it's led me to here.
And now you inspire the people that are trying to inspire, my brother. That is amazing.
Yeah, I said it. I said it on a video maybe a couple weeks ago. All the days blend together when I put out so many videos. But I said, you can turn pain into purpose if you're willing to dive below the surface. And that was something that just came to me, and it's just a testament to my own growth journey and experience of life. So it's pain is necessary, but it's not everything.
You're right.
It's valuable. It's valuable.
I that's an interesting concept, because I once worked with somebody that had a brain injury, and they didn't receive pain the same way most folks receive pain. They didn't
yeah,
like get
it's
a
all
they didn't get a
neurological.
yeah, they didn't get a signal for it. So if they put their hand
Yeah.
on something, it was a long delay before they knew it was burned. It was too late.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and like I never really thought about it until I met that person, and then I had to think through a training program.
yeah,
Like how do you approach life if you never feel pain? Like
yeah.
that really informs
Pain's
us. People think of
necessary,
it as
right?
a negative, but it really informs us. Like, you know, there are things that we don't do because we don't want to hurt.
Yo, I put out a video before I went live with you guys, and I said, "Bad is only bad if you don't pull a good away from it." You know, that's it.
Yo, it's only bad if you don't turn it into a good.
The number
Love
one
it.
book I'd recommend, man, that's a good one right there because they all hit something different in me. I think it was Wayne Dyer's book. The Was it The Power of Purpose? No, not The Power of Purpose. I have it inside. I'll have to look at it and send it to you. For some weird reason, I can't remember the name at this moment, but it was a Wayne Dyer book, and it was.
Uh-oh. We lost you, Matty, if you can still hear us.
Can you hear me?
There he
Can you
is.
hear me?
Yeah, you back.
All right. No, I was just looking up briefly. I wanted to see what the name of that book was because, it's called The Power of Intention. That's right. The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer is something that I would recommend everyone to read. Either that book or Your Erroneous Zones, also by Wayne Dyer. But those two books right there are in my top 5 must-reads before you die. Those two books right there are incredible. And after you read those, a third is The Alchemist. That book was incredible. And the story behind how that book even grew to the magnitude that it is man, it's wild because it came from a man in Brazil who at first didn't even get publishing. None of the books sold. And then all of a sudden an opportunity was presented to him and he went global. I love my Lacey Las Vegas. Mwah. Amazing. But yeah, those are my top 3 reads. Your Erroneous Zones by Wayne Dyer, The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer, and then The Alchemist by, I think it's Paolo something, but you can't forget that name. That's just called The Alchemist. There's only one of those books out there. Those are top 3 reads for me anyways. And Designing the Mind. That book was incredible. That's the first book that I read in the list of books that got me thinking different.
Love it, man. Man,
Yeah.
you got some great folks in your chat, man. You got Max V still up in here, Red Wagon,
Got them
Chris,
all 3. Let's go, Red Wagon. Of course.
Cat Art.
Oh man, there's so many beautiful names up in here. Lacey's up in here. Sheesh. Lacey's like a ride or die. Sadie's in here, my little Sadie May. I love Sadie. She's phenomenal. I love you, Sadie. You're incredible. Yeah, Designing the Mind, I believe, is that other book. I can't remember the artist off the top of my head, but it's got a really like crisp black cover with some gold writing, but it goes into, how we look at things and how things are patterned and how different ways to modify it, because your brain really is just one giant computer, only it's better. And once you learn how to, write the program, all of a sudden things start happening for you. And it seems almost like too good to be true, but it's not. You deserve it if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is our brains are designed to go with what they know, so to speak, for lack of a better way to put it. When it's given new information, it tries to fit that information into something that it already knows. So in part, and this would be a long conversation, but in part, that's part of what makes it so difficult to change the way we do things, because our brain is geared literally to fit new information into boxes that it already kind of knows. It's got to create new space almost for new information. So, and I'm way oversimplifying, but the gist of it is that our brain tries to fit what we already know into things. So simply by doing what you're saying, changing the way you think about things, changing your perspective, you use the word perspective pretty consistently. Changing your perspective on things literally changes the way your brain works. Literally changes the way your brain works.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that blended with consistency, until it becomes habit. That's just, that's the philosophy of life. Like we said earlier, people cling to what's familiar. You do something enough. Like anybody in this chat right now, community, whatever it is, I guarantee I would put a lot of money on it that every day you do the same things the same way. Brushing your teeth is a pattern. The way that you shower is a pattern. The way that you get dressed is a pattern. The way that you walk and do what you do is all a pattern. What if one of those days you just threw a wrench into the system and did something different? What if instead of brushing your teeth with your right hand, you started to do it with your left? All of a sudden it's awkward, but your brain starts to get rewired and it's like, whoa, what is all this? But that is how easy it is to build a new program and to develop and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that is a great example. Is sometimes just if you're right-handed, brush your teeth with your left hand. Or
just little things, little funny quirks, you know what I mean? But it's all about creating new habits. And that's kind of what rewires new receptors in your mind and, throws on a different wavelength in a sense. Your brain starts to react in a funny way and you feel different, but that's all part of the process,
Right. And that's part of being okay with yourself, being okay with who you are. It's part of that accountability portion of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Zach, much love, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you for that dynamite heart. Mwah. Shout out to Zach, man. Zach's incredible. Little Zach Skellington.
Zach was a guest on The Window. Zach had a good show, man.
Let's go.
We didn't pull the battery out of the clock
Zach,
for
man.
him though. He had to do it in 13.
They got you, Zach.
Hey, Monsters and Monsteras, thank you. Another amazing artist is Monsters and Monsteras. If you're not familiar,
I love that.
I'm sure you are familiar, but
I love that. So many beautiful people. Carmina Fisher, I see you in here. Much love.
Is there anything, Matty, that any of the big picture topics that you and I discussed that I have forgotten, or is there any information that I have gotten wrong that we need to correct?
I don't think you've got anything wrong in a sense. I think you've set them up. You've set them up and we've been knocking them down, and we've had a couple of outside ones. Carmina, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much. Carmina's amazing. Thank you for the love. But no, I don't think you missed too much. I mean, it like what led me out of that dark hole, like I was talking about, was, I guess, being open about it, being vulnerable. But when you feel like, you're losing everything, like there's nothing more you feel like you have to keep inside of you, because it just feels like one thing after another in a sense. You know what I mean? Lacey, yes, first tour Las Vegas. But that's how it feels. And I feel like those moments lead you to better ones if you're willing to accept it and, listen to your intuition. I feel like nobody deserves to count themselves out if you haven't truly counted yourself in. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about it, is if you're willing to create the change, you're willing to accept whatever comes into your, into your life, in a sense.
Absolutely. Well, what's the future hold for Matty, man? Where are we going, and how do we help you get there? How do Chad and I help you get there?
Facts, Zach. Yo, I mean, really, like I've said it before, it's just about getting in front of as many ears and eyes as possible with this inspiration, motivation, and wisdom, this unique form of entertainment. I can't really tell you what the big plan or the big goal is because I'm not even sure about it. I just know that I'm going to move through passion and just continue to inspire and elevate those I come in contact with the best way to my ability. And I would like to do a lot of things. I would like to go and do motivational speaking. I would like to be on major shows to share things that we're doing right now. Like, and when I say major, I mean just like, the TEDx platform,
Yeah,
certain
hell
things
yeah.
like that, because this to me is major what we're doing here.
No,
But
TEDx would be the joint. You need to be on
yeah,
TEDx for
I
sure,
want to be
man.
on
No
TEDx.
doubt.
I will be on different stages and platforms. It's just a matter of time. So that's it, and consistency, belief, and dedication, and of course loving the journey is gonna take me to wherever I'm supposed to be. It's led me to this point, and I don't, whatever happens. So I'm
Heard
just gonna
that.
keep walking this path and just do what I love to do.
Yeah, I
So Pat,
agree. I agree. He said, Zach said, I'm a pretty happy guy already, but I get pumped when I check in with Matty. I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
kind of
I
in that
love
same
seeing Zach,
category.
man. Zach on the attack. He's awesome, man. He's amazing. So many
so
people.
so I'm gonna answer that part of my question and then hit you with another question. I think one of the ways to
Hmm.
help is what we've been doing is just trying to rep, what you got going on and keep shouting that out, keep making mention. Hey,
Yeah,
go check our buddy Matty out. Um, do you have a link tree, Matty?
I do. I have a link tree. It's in my bio, and on my channel. Yeah.
You're not going to hurt my feelings at all, but I have a link tree in my bio, and attached to that link tree is guests on this show and people that I collaborate with. So one of the things that I like to do is say, hey,
That's
even
epic.
during one of my lives, hey, go
Hmm.
check out Matty Pace. He's got this going on. You can find him in my bio. Click on the link, and it'll take right to all your stuff. So with your permission, I'd like to
Okay.
copy your link tree and add it in. And if you don't want to do that, that's okay too. No worries. But
Yeah, for sure. No, feel free to add it. I'd be honored. I'd be absolutely honored.
And that would get the people to all of your platforms, right? On your link tree, you have all your. And would you mind telling? Go ahead and tell us which platforms they can find you on, and what times and days and how and all that, if
Yeah,
you
for
feel up to
sure.
it.
So
And
TikTok,
and
you could
take your
find
time
me.
because this is content that you could use. You could strip this down later and use it if you needed to. So take your
Yeah,
time. This is your
no,
show,
no
man.
worries.
We'll post
So
for you while you're doing it.
I do it. So I stream live on TikTok 5 days a week, making the negativity week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern time. You can find me on Twitch as well if you are on the Twitch platform every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern time. And other than that, I have IG, I have Facebook, I have YouTube, and I post over here 3 videos a day every day. So, yeah, that's everywhere you can find me. And everything is in the link tree as well. So, go check it out. I also do Cameo. So if you ever want a custom video of, let's say, motivation, or you want to send somebody like a birthday message, or even talk a little smack to someone you may beat in fantasy football, I can do it all. I do it through Cameo, which you can purchase a video and have custom Matty Pays videos.
Right
Yeah,
on,
but I'm,
man.
I'm
That's
pretty much
dope.
everywhere. I'm pretty much everywhere.
Heard he's ubiquitous, y'all. The man is ubiquitous.
I feel like it makes no sense to limit your reach when there are so many ways to reach so many people. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yes, man. Look, Matty, I know Chad was saying a little bit earlier about his impact or your impact on him, and I
Hmm.
just I want to reiterate, man, that it's there is a certain amount of comfort, let's call it, or maybe even security.
Renee. Yeah.
that comes with knowing that other dudes are out there trying to do things a certain way, trying to be positive,
Thanks,
trying
Chip.
to do that love thing, trying to do that positivity thing.
Yeah.
So I tend to try to stay up as much as, and I'm fortunate that I love what I get to do. But on those days, you are one of those people
Yes.
that we look to, and that's a heavy weight, because you are a human being too. You have up
Yeah.
and down days too. It's remarkable, man, the energy that you're able to bring, and the kindness and the compassion that you bring with that energy, and it fills up a room, man. It really does, and I'm grateful that you're
Thanks.
out there doing it. And I would like you to know, from me personally, you have my number, man. Anytime you need me,
Oh,
anytime I could
beautiful.
be of service,
Likewise.
you call me. And you know the deal, man. You know the secret codes of how to get me quickly if you have to, and all that. So
Yeah, for sure. It means the world. It's a blessing, and I truly appreciate that.
but for what it's worth, man, I believe in you 100%, man. I'm in your corner, and
Thank you.
I want to see you doing a TED Talk. I'm gonna watch it right up here in the living room.
Hey, baby, listen, we closer to being there than when we started, and that's the thing, you know. The only way that anything doesn't happen for any of us is if we give up. So that's it. And to add on to your point of, you know, beautiful compliments and you know, admiration, I'm very deeply impacted by that, and I appreciate both of you. And I think that the best thing anyone could ever be is their authentic self, whatever self is. But while you're here in this thing called reality, just be who you are. Don't try to be someone you're not. And don't worry about people that hate on you, because at the end of the day, those people probably struggle with loving themselves. What makes you think that you're any different when
Right.
they say what they say to you? You know, people are always struggling. They want to see people come down to their level because they say it's crowded at the bottom. And it's because people don't put in the work to get to the top.
Yeah. Seb from Theory Radio said something to me that really hit home one time. He said, you know, Gan, he said, it ain't my business what people think of me.
What people think of you are none of your business.
Which is a great
I
thought.
made a video about that a couple weeks ago, I think. I heard that from Les Brown originally.
Right
what people
on.
think of you are none of your business. And Les Brown, I heard that video a long time ago, and that's one of the many things that he said that stuck out to me. And it's true. It's true. It's beyond true.
Well, I'm gonna make it my business to watch your six, man, because I think you're doing good stuff.
Likewise.
And I know it's eating my man Chad up over there. He's free. Hey, man, we got you. Go.
I see him moving.
If he had any important words, I wanted to get him, man, but he's in the top of a tree right now with a possum holding up a coat hanger.
Let's go, Zach. I love that red wagon. Benny, let's go.
We can't hear you, buddy. You breaking up,
It's all
man.
glitchy. It's all glitchy.
We can't hear you, homie. Moose, to answer.
That's great, Kim. I love that.
A back channel. I must have missed it, Moose. My apologies, man. I'll get on that as soon as we get done with the show. I'll get you in that.
The Moose is loose.
The Moose. That's a good dude right there, man. Matty. That
Moose,
dude.
Moose shows me a lot of love.
He be doing it up too.
We
Him and
appreciate
Can Do,
you,
man.
Chip.
Don't sleep on those two. Yeah, Chip up in here too, man. Well, Matty, man, I absolutely am honored that you would come on and have a conversation with me, and that we got to have a phone conversation, and I got to learn a little bit more about you. And like I was telling you yesterday, man, you're one of those cats that once you got to talk to you, I like you even more. And that doesn't always happen, right? That don't always happen.
like we talked about, it's like, you know, people are like, man, I want to meet my hero. I want to meet this person. And it's like, ooh, baby, what if that person is not as beautiful as they make themselves out to be? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, it's a part of the process, you know. Derek, you swift son of a gun. This guy Derek in this chat is amazing,
the hot dog
man.
pancake?
He always say bologna is definitely a hot dog pancake, and then he said also something that I say in response is, and waffles are just pancakes with abs. And then he had another one. Yeah, then he had another one. I think he said like a ravioli is just an Italian starburst or something like that. I'll
That's
tell you,
awesome,
Derek.
man.
Derek always makes me laugh, man. He's a great person. He always just comes in, shows that love, and then he slides out. It's a real funny thing that we share together. I look forward to it all the time, man. He gets me. The first time he came in, yeah, an Italian gusher. Thank you, Derek.
An Italian
He always
gusher.
gets me with it. Yeah, he always gets me. I love it. I mean, the people in the chat love it too, especially if you don't see it before or anything like that. It's something you don't ever see. You know, it's hilarious.
Heard
Mad
that.
love to Derek.
Ender, no worries, Ender. We're just glad to have you in here. Good to see you.
Yeah, and if
Well,
anybody, I don't know, did anyone get any questions? Did we
we're
answer any
gonna
questions in the chat?
we're gonna give them a minute here to. We're pretty thorough, man. You might have hit most of them.
I mean, you never know. Tita Bull, hey, thank you so much for the big love. I really appreciate the kind words. Lacey, you know that I can't. Okay, all right, sounds good. Sounds good.
now, now's your chance, folks. Now's your chance to get a question into Matty.
All the love.
The amazing Matty Pace.
I don't know about all that. I'm just, you know what I mean? We just out here living the journey, baby. We out here getting it in 5 days a week, making the negativity week. 7 if you count Saturday and Sunday.
7 if you count Saturday and Sunday.
Hey, baby, smiles up, frowns down. You know, that's what it's all about. Your question can't be asked publicly, Moose. I like that energy out of you. I got this hat at I think I got this hat just at a regular store. I don't know. It wasn't like a special store. I just saw it and got it. Probably Macy's, something like that. Changing the world one stream at a time. That's right, baby. You know what it is. Loretta Cooley. Let's go,
Hey,
baby.
Loretta.
Mwah. Much love. So many beautiful individuals coming into the channel right now on top of who we already have in here. Can I have yours with your autograph on? You want my fedora with my autograph? I'm going to have to think about it. I love my fedora. Possibly. I mean, I can send you other merch with my autograph on it. The fedora, maybe, though. You kind of deserve it. You kind of deserve it. You know what I mean? Lita, I see
Lita
that.
had
What
one.
is it? I can't read it. What did it
Here we
say?
go. It says, do you decide
you,
ahead
Loretta.
of streaming what topics you want to touch on, or do you just go with the vibe?
Renee, easy money. I just go with the vibe. So nothing in what I do is scripted. Everything is off the cuff. Everything is freestyle. I move off the energy within myself, and then it just compiles according to who comes into the stream, conversations, the music. A slight change in music may even change the vibe a little bit. You know, it's all freestyle, and that's the beautiful thing. It's never the same thing twice. You can come to my stream 100 different days and it's going to be 100 different streams. But one thing
Facts.
that is the constant is the energy in the room that you'll feel when you come in. And I guarantee that you'll always feel better leaving than when you did on the way in. And if you were good, you're going to turn great. If you were bad, you're going to turn good. That's just how I always have done what I do. Richard, thank you so much. Fluffy, mwah, yo, Fluffy's
Yes.
massive. Mad love to Fluffy. So much love.
Chris Major is an amazing crochet artist, a friend of mine too. Chris, if you have any
Let's
questions,
go.
yeah, if you didn't know, if you weren't familiar with Matty, I'm so glad
Yeah, I
you
love
came in,
that.
Chris, because this dude is, you dig him, I promise you. Give
Welcome
Matty a
in.
follow. Hey,
Yeah,
we got
Lita, like I said.
we got
Oh, go
Matty
ahead.
Pace, y'all. I was just gonna shout out again real quick. Matty Pace on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday goes on at
Fluffy.
1:30 Eastern time.
Thank you.
And until
Thank you.
and on Tuesdays and Thursdays on at 10 a.m. So if you can't catch him for the afternoon shows, you can catch him on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the morning shows.
Oh, damn. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Avion the Dawn is in sight. That's my brother from another mother. Welcome in, Avion. How we feeling, baby? Mwah. I love
Avion.
you. Thank you for pulling on up. My man Avion's incredible. That is my man. He is amazing. He puts out motivation as well in the morning. He is a great person. a friend of mine. This man is incredible. Shout out to my brother from another mother. Mwah! Send a rose, get a pose, baby. If you can, definitely drop him a follow. He's incredible. He's just out here to just put out motivational words every day.
Avion, do you have a question for your guy Matty here?
Renee.
He's
Let's go.
He's taking questions right now, Avion. So you know him well. You might be able to drop a good question in there.
He knows me pretty well. He's seen me in a lot of rare form moments as well, which is hilarious. Those late night vibes, they get crazy sometimes, especially when I do Daddy After Dark.
Daddy After Dark.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a show that I do on Twitch on Friday nights. On Twitch, it's when I do Daddy After Dark. It's a little bit more spicy, where viewers can actually call in and share a wild or hilarious, disappointing, or just different sexual experience that they've had as an encounter. We've had stories of all magnitudes. It's like Dr. Ruth, only better. It's hilarious. It is so funny. Some of the stories you'll never believe actually happened, but it's just something that I've done. It's called Daddy After Dark. It's hilarious.
And that's over on Twitch. I'm gonna have to download. I don't. That's one of them that I don't have. I'm gonna have to catch you over there, man, just for fun.
Right? Yeah. Hey, it's a good time, and it's all full of love too. It's not even even with that type of content, it's still a very cool place to be. It's all out of good love and fun, and people can remain anonymous, which is another thing. I don't share their names. I don't tell you who they are. If they want to do that, they can do that, but I keep it all anonymous. And if they just direct message me their story, I make sure to delete it right after I tell it. That way there's no paper trail or anything like that. So I take that very seriously, but it's a lot of fun. Renee says you'll never be the same after Twitch. That's true. It's a different place, but it's fun. It's a great time. That's where I met Avion. That's where I met Renee. It's just a lot of fun, and it shows you a different side of me as well, because it's a little off the cuff. It's a little more unhinged. I used to run a daily podcast for about 4.5 years straight called Black Pack. I'm proud of you. Beat you this time. But I used to run a daily podcast called The Matty Mo Show, and it was the #1 daily podcast in the game on over 12 platforms. And I used to have 2 shows that were a little bit different than most. They were Risky Frisky Fridays and Super Sexy Saturdays. Facts, Moose. And those shows were a little bit more sexually suggestive, but they were tasteful. They were funny, but they were truthful. It's really cool. It's a different release. So, some people wouldn't like to tune into the motivational things, but they would love those Risky Frisky Fridays or Super Sexy Saturdays. I used to do like Monye inspirations, where I'd kick off your week with 3 different inspirational and motivational news stories going on in the world that you wouldn't hear anywhere else. I used to get the stories from a website called goodnewsnetwork.org. So, I've been in the entertainment game and on a microphone for a long time, as I told you, making music way back in the day, 4.5 years of podcast, over 1,600 episodes, covering everything from A to Z, because like I always say, life is not linear. Life is everything. And I choose to put everything into it when I go live and entertain. Though on this side on TikTok, when I go live, we don't get all sexual and stuff. I keep it pretty clean, because I know TikTok's very strict with the moderation, rightfully so. So I really focus on using this platform to spread awareness, inspiration, and motivation anyways, because to me, I feel like, 1, the platform could use more of it, and 2, you, like we said earlier, you never know who you're going to help,
Right on, man. Well, that's it. That's great.
Oh, Jasmine?
I am. Chad and I were having a discussion before this show today about other platforms and how they might be used in different ways, and so that's very interesting to hear you talking about that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I always say, I'm not a saint. I am me, and being me has all versions of me. We all have urges. We all have, character traits that make us us, and I just take those things that some would perceive as promiscuous, and I make them into relatable, fun content. And the beauty about me is that I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not. I'm authentic with everything that I do. I speak openly, honestly, and a lot of times I have a tendency to say things that are on people's minds, but they're too afraid to say or speak on. It's like everybody at a work meeting, right? Boss does
Yeah.
this big meeting, he drills you for 30 minutes, then he asks you if anyone has any questions or comments. Everybody's quiet, but then you hear them all talking about questions and comments 20 minutes later at the water cooler. It's like, dog, you should have asked that question there.
Right. Right.
Like, what are you doing out here? Be the
Blackjack.
voice. And that's why it's
Drop.
easier to be a follower than it is a leader sometimes.
Heard that. Heard that, Matty. It's easier to be a follower than a leader all the time, I would argue. But
Facts.
Blackjack, Black Pack, is that what
Black
that's
Pack,
saying?
what do you got? Yeah,
Yeah,
Black
drop the
Pack
question,
DJ.
man. Go ahead and
I'm
drop
proud
that
of you.
question.
What do you got for a question? Queen B in the place to be, looking incredibly heavenly, baby. Let's go. Jasmine, looking incredible with all that passion. Thank you, my queen. Mwah, mwah. Thank you for the love.
Hey, Chad's moving.
This might be a big question, Black Pack. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see what you got to say. There you go, FNA. What was your first time knowing you were a streamer? I mean, the first day that I started streaming, that would be, I think, the answer to that. Um, I think, anyways. What was the definite moment? I mean, the first stream, to be honest, the first stream, because I got to see people come in and see what it is that I'm doing, even though I didn't really know what I was doing or what I was trying to do. But I think when I got a little bit more refined, I guess I could answer your question in a little bit better of a way. It took many, many months to really come into my niche of, the direction of what I was producing for a show and content. It was always good energy and good vibes, but it was very all over the place at first. And then I decided to just, through the process, you're going to learn what works, what doesn't, what feels right to you, what doesn't, certain things you want to try, let go of. Juicy Lips, mwah, welcome in. So, yeah, it was kind of like the growth process. I would say it took about a solid 5-6 months, maybe 7, to really dial it in and then expand on that more and more. Biggest learning experience from a mistake while streaming? Oh,
That's
Bart,
a good question.
man. Giving people the reaction. I talked about it earlier. I don't know if you were here. Good afternoon, Cigar Dawn. Pleasure to see you, man. Mwah, Juicy Lips. Thank you for the big love. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Black Pack. I appreciate you. Said, proud and just started my career live because of you, Black Pack. That is amazing. Thank you so much for that compliment. I'm proud of you, man. Have fun and enjoy the process. That's amazing that what I do has inspired you to do the same thing in your own way. To answer Bart's question, a big mistake that I learned from was you can't, or you have to try to not be in your feels and take anything personal when you are streaming. If your energy is really off, you might as well not go live in most cases. I've had times where I've gone live after not feeling the vibe at the start, and it's completely turned my day around, and it's been phenomenal. And it was one of the most generous streams and this and that, but those don't happen all the time. A lot of times your energy or lack of energy will mess up the beauty of the process, and it'll mess up what you are working towards. I say it may take a long time to build up what you receive, but it takes moments for it to get taken away from you. And that's just the hard truth. So my mistakes were not letting my emotions get the best of me, not letting the outside world control my inside world, and not taking anything too personally from what other people may say to you in your chat or about you behind your back. I always like I said earlier, don't let anyone shake your tree to the point you start dropping them fruit, because then all of a sudden, because then you just become no different than the person that's shaking your tree. All of a sudden, you're just feeding it, and now you're fighting fire with gasoline, and it's never gonna extinguish. So, learning those mistakes, learning those trial and error moments is what built me to being more aware, clear, and driven to do what I do and how I do it. So freely, I guess you could say. Coco, thank you for the love, baby. Mwah, Jasmine, yeah, you love that book. I love that book too.
That's a great answer, man. That's a great answer.
Yeah,
Moose
to answer that question, Bart.
Moose has a hypothetical for you. If he was able to friend nap you and bring you to his studio, what are y'all recording? That's a good one.
Recording magic.
I'm assuming he's talking about music. I'm assuming he's talking about like a song or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever presents itself at the time. I mean, you know, you go with the universal energy in the room. You go with the feelings. You go with what's happening in that moment. You know, ideas come a mile a minute. So to me, it's all about just, that's probably what would answer the question. I don't know if it'd be a song, a jingle, could be nothing. We could just sit and hang out and not make any music, but we could make more of a connection. It's really just about how the energy feels in the room at the time is going to produce whatever the product is, in a sense.
So energy in the room at the time, is our dude down there alive? Can we hear him? He's not frozen. Now's your chance, man.
Chad?
If you want to throw a thought in here, it's working. Now's your shot.
I love my Chad.
Yeah, dude.
Let the music, Coco. Let that universe guide you. Thank you.
Let's manifest. Matty Pace on TED Talks. Let's do it.
I always believe, man, it's a matter of when, never a matter of if, you know? Thank you. Lacey, what do we got? You already know the answer to that. It's next year, most likely next year, the beginning of the year. I want to make that happen, to go to Vegas.
Yo, last time I went to Vegas, the only time I went to Vegas, I came back married. We eloped.
Woo! That's crazy.
I'm down. I'll ride to Vegas. I had a ball.
Max Talk sounds fun. Max Talk sounds like a good time. Matty Pace on Theria, make it happen. I like that energy out of you. Hey, Theria Radio was a pleasure to meet yesterday and like have a conversation with and vibe with. And I was super humbled by Theria sharing one of the songs I did for Theria Radio while they were present leading up to today. I'm super excited about that.
I got a message about that. They were excited. Chad and I do a lot of stuff with Theria, man. They're good people. We do a lot of stuff with them.
Yeah, I always say Theria. I'm excited.
That's Italo and Seb. Seb is Theria. Italo's right there.
Italo.
Italo. For about a month I called him Italo.
Yeah, you and me both. I say Italo, whatever, you know what I mean? Let's go. Avion says, do you have any other projects in the works? I'm currently working on growing my YouTube channel a lot more. And that's one of the main, yes, you did. I followed you back as well.
You got two though, right?
I have like four YouTube channels, but I'm really focused on the Matty Mo Show right now more than any of the other ones. So that's the one I'm kind of pushing. But yeah, I'm really working on growing my YouTube channel. And that's really the only other project that I'm currently working on outside of what I'm doing regularly.
Max V said he wants plushies. That'd be awesome. A Matty Pace plushie and a Chad Rev plushie. That'd be good.
Avion, you might, I feel like, I don't know if you follow the Matty Mo Show. You might follow A Taste of Pace. So if you click the link tree in my bio it'll lead you to my YouTube channel, which is the one I'm promoting right now, which is called the Matty Mo Show. But you might be on A Taste of Pace, which is one that I started trying to like do more like stream content, putting more stream content there. But now I'm just kind of like focused on going the Matty Mo Show. Matty Pace 3D printed statue of me with pleasure. You're the IT genius. So if you set up that 3D printer, we'll make it happen. It will be me and a Speedo.
A moose onesie plushie. I like it.
Booking a Matty Pace cameo on Twitch tonight. Listen, go ahead. You can get me on Cameo all you want. My link's in the bio. I am a Cameo. I am a certified Cameo creator. So if you want custom video content from me, custom messages, poems, whatever it may be, a motivational speech, you can get it. You can get it for a low cost of I think like $8.99 or something like that. But after this show, the price might go up because I'm being on here with the Gin Project and Chad Revar.
You might get 3 extra followers.
Avion. Go, leader. Don't you settle yourself short like that. Avion with the love. Thank you so much. My boy Avion is incredible, man. Big love to him. Shout out to Coco Savage, Juicy Lips. Those are my people, man. I've known them for a while, you know. Mwah. Little Matty Pace ball. But Mozart. Let's go. Yo, I love Mozart. Mozart in the building. Look at all the love coming in here, man. I love it. So the Matty Pace bobblehead would be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine you're just being in traffic. It's just my face.
I love it. Just wobbling around. You gotta have the fedora on though for effect.
You know what I mean? Yo, thank you so much, Avion. Big love, baby. I appreciate it. We've gone pretty deep. Excuse me. We've been live for a little while. We went through a lot of my backstory, and a lot of like, you know, the turmoil, the pain that led to the pleasure, the ugly moments that led to the beautiful ones. You know, we covered a lot of things from my upbringing to, you know, depression and suicidal thoughts and things like that. It's been an incredible show.
With your permission, Matty, I just want to verify this before. We normally put these shows, I download them and put them over on YouTube in their entirety. If you're okay with doing that.
100p.
And Theory Radio's in the house. Sometimes Seb selects from those shows and edits them down to a 30-minute highlights version, and that's what goes on Theory Radio. So would you be okay if that were to happen?
Put it out there, baby. Shout out to Mama Crow in the building, baby. Mwah, incredible human being. 100%. You can put it anywhere you want.
Anybody that came in later that missed part of the Matty V, damn it, missed part of the Matty Pace interview,
canceled.
Please,
Mama Crow.
That's it.
Thank you.
Get him. Go over to the
Delete
YouTube, the Git Project page, and you can find. You'll be able to find by in the morning the entire interview, the entire show, over there. So Matty covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we had a lot of gems. I think there was a lot of gems in there. There was a lot of powerful moments, especially the one about expectation. I think that right there should. I would love to make that segment a clip of its own, just about expectation, because that was man, that was a hard hitter even for me speaking it.
Absolutely. Well, I
saw Chad's reaction.
Yes. His
reaction said everything. Both of you the whole time. It was wild. It was beautiful. That's okay, Mama. It's gonna be uploaded. It's gonna be uploaded and everything. Thank you, Avion. Hey, listen, man. Like I said earlier, we all start at 1 follower, and it's usually someone really close to us that don't watch our content. Usually, it's just a friend or something that's like, "Can I get a follow?" Right. But I'll tell you, man. Like Avion. Thank you. Like I said, I'm proud of you, man. Consistency is key. Just stay consistent. Trust the process. Don't try to be someone you're not to try to get certain things from people. be authentic, trust the process, trust yourself, love yourself, and just remember that nobody else is as dope as you in your life. You are the dopest person in your life. Don't forget that. You already
Yes.
know. I'm proud of you, man. I am proud of this man right here. More information to come soon on Avion. This man got a life-changing opportunity.
Right on. I love hearing that, man.
That's
I
my
love
guy.
hearing that. I love hearing that.
Yeah, facts.
Chad, I'm gonna try to check with you one more
Yes,
time,
mama.
buddy. I know you're having technical issues, but I know you dig some
Leader,
Matty,
yes.
man. I wanted you to have a chance to get
Facts,
in here if
F&A.
you.
Let's go, Chad. I see you moving around a little bit.
He's wiggling. Barely. There we go.
I can't.
If you
I
can
think
hear
he
him,
said
Matty, he's
thank
thanking
you.
you very
I think
much,
he
brother,
said
is what he
thank you
said.
for thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you for being you. Thank you for what you do. All of that. Yes.
Oh, I see you moving now a little bit. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you for breaking the ice, Chad. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for presenting me and premiering me on your show. I mean, it's incredible. I appreciate it.
Well, I will 100% be supporting whatever Matty's doing. And same thing with Chad. I know he will too, even though we can't hear what he's saying right now. But I know he's 100% on board. Thank you, SA. Matty, it is an amazing honor, man. As soon as we get done with this, I'm going to do my best to get this thing downloaded and get it put over there on the YouTubes so that your people that came in a little later might be able to check it out. And it is your show, man, so you're free to do whatever. Cut it up, chop it up, pull stuff down, whatever. Work your magic, do your thing.
100%. Betty Jean, I can't say what said, you know what's killing him, not being able to ask questions, Chad.
Yeah. Look, that's fun. His daughter made that heart for him. That's actually a heart.
I love that, mama. That's incredible. I love it. Well, hey, like I said, the pleasure is all mine. I am honored to have been featured on your show. Shout out to Chad for breaking the ice. Shout out to you for reaching out, and the universe for allowing us to align and having it happen. I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more humbled, and it really means the world. So thank you so much for presenting me to the community in a beautiful way. Thank you for those gifts. And thank you to the community for your time, your love, your appreciation, because as I always say, there's millions of people on TikTok right now. And the fact that there's over 40 of you here is amazing. And I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, my whole soul. I am forever grateful. So thank you to each and every one of you. You're amazing, you're outstanding, you're extraordinary and divine. I appreciate you.
I thank you too, Matty Pace. I appreciate you very much, man. It was an honor to have you on the show. Keep shining your light, brother. Keep doing your thing. We'll keep swinging through. If there's anything at all that we can, look
Mama.
for some more stuff coming from us. We're gonna have to do some things together here in the future too. We'll figure some things out, but
Moose. That dirty little chicken. Thank you.
Dropping dirty chickens on him. Dirty chickens.
Oh, man. Kristen, thank you. Wow, you guys are too much. You're incredible. Thank you.
So, Haley Beth, are you still in here? If Haley Beth is still in here, I'd like you to drop some hearts, Haley Beth. What's your favorite color, Matty?
Lacey, the big love. Purple. We love purple.
Mine too.
Purple casting, purple print.
instead of the hearts being purple for Gin, because she assigned purple hearts to me as well. Those are her hearts. The purple one with the whites are Haley's hearts. So if y'all would,
I love that.
Please drop some purple hearts in the chat for Matty. And let's fill up the chat with purple hearts so a couple folks can get screenshots. because the chat is not in the video. Like the chat won't be in the video over on the
YouTubes. Mama.
YouTubes.
It's amazing, man. Just look at the amazingness of this stream and what you guys have done. I mean, 93 shares, over 55,000 double taps, generosity, gifts, questions, interaction, love, appreciation. Let this be a testament to you guys of the work that you're doing and how many people love it and appreciate both of you. So I know you made this all about me saying it's my show, but it's not. It's your show, and I am humbled and grateful to be a part of it. So thank you for hosting a space for me and this community. Thank you for allowing me to be with you and keep going, because you guys have something incredibly beautiful here, and I can't wait to see you just continue to blow up and grow. Absolutely. You have my 100% support and love and appreciation, and I will do anything in my power to make sure that you both continue to thrive in any way possible. So thank you again for the big love. Wow.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. And I look forward to what comes next, man. I'm gonna enjoy the journey with you, sir.
Let's go, baby, to the moon and beyond.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Matty Pace. Give it up for him, y'all. Purple hearts in the chat. Mods, if you could, please get a couple screenshots of the purple hearts in the chat for Matty Pace, because those don't show up over on the YouTubes. Drop them in there, get some screenshots. This dude is the real deal. Look forward to some more stuff coming out in the future from Matty. I'm going to go look up his Twitch. And thank y'all. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Thank y'all so much. Chris, thank you for the subscription. That's amazing. Appreciate everybody. Matty, you're the man. Appreciate you, dude. Mwah! Much love to you, homie. Mwah!
I love you guys. Have an incredible night. Mwah!
Love
Appreciate
you, brother.
You.
Take care. Everybody be good to each other, please. Chad, we love you too, bro, even though we can't hear you, homie.
We love him.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you caught us late, I'm about to go download this episode over on the YTubes, and you'll be able to catch the full version. You got Matty Pace coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1:30 Eastern Time. Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's on at 10 a.m. You can catch him on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. You could probably catch him by carrier pigeon outside. He's on every platform.
We right here. We right here.
He's still got riders in the Pony Express, y'all. He's still doing it.
Let's go.
Appreciate everybody. Much love to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We got Chad Rev Art Show Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Matty Pace was one of the people that came in the window, and Chad's going to have somebody up there next. And Matty's recommendation for the Added to the Gin Project show is in the chat today, and I appreciate her coming through.
Big love. Thank
Big
you
love,
so
y'all.
much.
Thank you, Stitch. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.